So first of all, the stress, dude, the stress. I haven't even eaten today. I've been in the hot sun all fucking day because I've been arguing since 11 o'clock. So first of all, I felt uncomfortable going over here to see his family and stuff for the 4th of July, and I was having like a panic attack before we walked out the door. And I was verbalizing how I felt. I kept saying, I feel like my throat is closing up. I feel like my throat is closing up. I'm having a lot of anxiety. I don't know what to do. And also, due to the fact, I kept asking throughout the week, like, when is your family getting together? What time is it going to be? What day is it going to be? Are we getting together on the 4th? Or is it going to have to be the day after because people have work? I don't know. So I'm asking, and I could never get a clear answer, and it's always been like this. Do you know how hard it is to plan things when you don't have a set time or day? Like birthdays, for instance. I remember trying to plan birthday parties for people in his family, and there was never a set time, and like, it would be a day, but I would be like, well, what time are we getting together? And they're like, I don't know, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 maybe. And I'm like, well, which is it? Because I need to know so that I can get ready and prepare. So I was already upset and felt overwhelmed by the fact that I'd been asking when we were getting together for the 4th, and I couldn't get a clear answer from anybody. And I wanted to like bake a cake to take over there and stuff, you know. I wanted to take a chocolate cake over there, and I normally do deviled eggs a lot, but since it's summer, I probably would have done like a watermelon salad. But there was never any clear answer. So that started the arguing early. And then, like I said, I'm having a panic attack as we're leaving because I'm thinking things through. I'm like, why am I going to hang out with people that have talked poorly about me, that have told other people lies about me and stuff? Like, I'm really debating my choices before I get in the car and walk out the door, you know? And it just was like hitting me in the face. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And the anxiety got even worse. And I'm vocalizing how I feel. I'm like, hey, this is how I feel. I'm feeling a lot of anxiety right now. I feel like somebody's strangling me. I can't find anything. I feel rushed. It's causing me a lot of problems. Oh, hey, it's okay. I'll see you later. Happy 4th. So I'm like, I feel rough. Like, and I'm vocalizing how I feel. And he's getting angry and angry and angry and angry. And I can tell that he's getting angry, and that's causing me even more anxiety. So finally, I'm just like, fuck it. And I grab my stuff to go out the door. And he comes barreling out the door, screaming at me. And I said, listen, I said, first of all, it's really hard for me in my sober state to hang out with people who I know for a fact do not like me. They have some animosity towards me. I can feel it. They don't have to say anything because it's written all over their face. Like, there's something about intuition that women in particular have. I think men have it too in certain situations. But I feel like us women, we can feel when somebody is around us and they don't like us. And we can, I don't know how to explain it. But, you know, and once again, I was willing to put that aside because I wanted to be around people. Because in all actuality, I love his mother and his daughter. And, you know, I wanted to be around people for the holidays. It helps me get over the fact that I'm not around my family, that I don't have any family, and what family I have is overseas. So it's hard. And it's always I'm always on his time. I've said this before. I was talking about this the other day. Like, I don't have my own identity. I'm not allowed to be a person. I'm not allowed to voice any concerns. I'm not allowed to have feelings. I'm not allowed to ask to communicate over a subject. I'm not allowed to say, hey, this makes me feel uncomfortable. Can we talk for a second before we just head in there? No, that's not even an option. And so we've been fighting all fucking day. And he kept saying, so first of all, I was supposed to get my AC fixed on Thursday, but he caused a fight on Tuesday over the sticky briars. Remember that? And I actually was so depressed for a day and a half. I just laid in the car because that's how much it got me off track. I just laid in the car. You know, honestly, I wanted to see if he was going to call the cops on me. That tells you a lot about a person. Anybody that is willing to send you to jail after they start fights, or anybody that's willing to put you in harm, regardless, as long as you're not hitting them, destroying their property, or doing anything like that. Like, if you're arguing with somebody, it's one thing. But arguing to lead to calling the cops, that's a whole nother thing. That's dangerous, you know? And he did. He called the cops. I filmed it. And they took me by surprise, like the way that they came at me. They kind of cooled down, and I really appreciate them being cool. I think that it will not be the last time that they go to that property. You know, he just moved in a month ago. Like, he hasn't had time to meet anybody and start torturing them yet mentally. So, you know, and that's why I told that cop, I said, you know, his last girlfriend committed suicide in our $1 million house. And that's what I told him. I said, thank you so much. Like, I'm gone. Like, y'all are doing me a favor. I don't need to be here. I put myself in a bad situation. I already said that I wasn't going to go back, and I did. I really wanted to get my AC fixed on Sunday because he had promised me that, and I need it done. Like, I'm desperate. I was willing to go through a week of mental fucking torture just to get it done because that's how hot I am. And I am no better off now than when I got here. I'm actually worse off. I'm actually worse off. 10 times worse off. Like, I was actually happy before I fucking got here, despite the fucking 105-degree weather. Now I am miserable. Like, I feel really fucking sad that I allowed another person to do this to me. Like, I was really hoping that maybe some things had changed, but they haven't. And this is what I said the other day. They haven't changed. And I've got to stop putting myself in danger thinking that things are going to get better. Because it's absolutely danger. Anybody that calls the cops on you does not give a fuck about you. Point blank, period. Unless you did something to them. Now, if I was out there whooping his ass in the front yard trying to damn shove a traffic cone up his ass, that's one thing. But I didn't. Like, I wasn't like that. Now, was I a bitch through text message? Abso-fucking-lutely. But he can't even handle that. So why is it okay for you to bait me to another state, and when you can't sleep with me, you kick me out on the street in the fucking heat, and then 2 days later, after I come out of my mental despair, I come crawling back in hopes of feeling some kind of family relation, some kind of family bond with your family while I'm here, because I'm already fucking here, so I might as well celebrate July 4th, but we can't even make it out the door before you start your shit. And let me tell you something else that's very telling. So when I expressed to him that there was this girl, it's actually his daughter-in-law, and when I expressed to him how mean she's been to me in the past and how much I can tell that she, you know, I want the best for her. That's the thing. Like, these girls that come in contact with me that are maybe jealous of me or intimidated by me, I've talked about this a lot. I have pretty people problems, even though I'm not that fucking pretty. I don't even put that much weight in my looks, but other people do, other women specifically. And they treat me some type of fucking way because of it. Now, it's either my looks or my character. Either way, it's not good. I don't deserve to be bullied because somebody else is not happy and doing the hard work on themselves like I am. It takes a lot of fucking work. It takes a lot of fucking work to be happy. It really does. And it starts within. And I have a problem with this girl because of the things that she said, the lies that she's told. She's told some of the most horriblest lies about me to other people. And 10 years later, I still have people coming to me saying, hey, this is what this girl said. Do you know that so-and-so said this? So it's just like, all I wanted to do was talk about it with him. And he blows up at me, barrels at me angry, and starts yelling in my fucking face. I immediately grabbed my shit and got out of there because I felt unsafe. Like, you're barreling at me. But here's the thing. It's okay for you to do that in my face. But if I say that you're a pussy because you're not able to communicate, then I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because I'm honest. Because you run every time you start a fight. And your way of punishing me is to leave me out in the fucking heat. Now, it was the same way 10 years ago. It was the same way. He used to kick me out all the time. I've probably been homeless before 40 times. He used to kick me out. We'd have an argument. He'd be pissed. He'd take my work from me, like wouldn't allow me to go to work, and then kick me out of the house. But now we can't do that because I have a house on wheels. So his power is not as strong as it was before because I'm not living with him. I'm not relying on him for money. I'm not relying on him for anything. The only thing I wanted him to do was fix my AC and maybe show me that he had empathy and compassion and the capability to communicate, because this is what he's always done. He's always ran. And that's what he did. As soon as I grabbed my stuff and left, he fucking runs and cries to his family. Remember me the other day? I told you guys, I said, he's probably going to run to his family and play poor, pitiful me. Yeah, well, he done it to his fucking self. Am I a bitch? Absolutely. I am. Do I expect a lot? I don't think so. Bare minimum. Respect, loyalty, honesty. Simple things. You to keep your word. That's pretty fucking simple. So, the girl that I don't like, I'm just going to put it out there. I don't like her. I don't like her because she's fake. You know, and I even said it. So, he sends the girl that, you know, I'm having an anxiety attack because I want some reassurance. Like, I haven't seen his family in like 3 or 4 years. All I wanted was some reassurance. Say, hey, Brooke, it's fine. Don't worry. You look great. My mom, my daughter, they can't wait to see you. No, none of that. Pay attention to what people are not saying more than what they're saying. And any time that he's ever brought me up in relation to his family and visiting his family, it's always felt forced, like it was a lie. It rolls off of his tongue like a lie when he says that his daughter asked about me or his mother asked about me. I'm not saying that they don't like me. I know that when I was around them, we absolutely had a decent relationship, you know, but it was surface level, you know, and, but like today when I'm having a panic attack and we're trying to head out the door, why not say, yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. Like, none of that. It's never any of that. It's never any of what I need to hear. If anything, it's the worst possible fucking thing out of his mouth that he can say to incite anger out of me. It's like he intentionally pushes my buttons. And I there's only so much coincidence in life before you realize the pattern of behavior. And you realize that they're intentionally doing it to hurt you. So, what state do we want to go to? Because I am right by Maryland, D.C., West Virginia. I am going somewhere. It is so hot. I actually might stay here till Sunday. I'm going to see if he'll at the very least do the right thing and show up and pay for my AC, because, you know, he baited me up here with hopes of getting laid. And then when he found out that I wasn't going to sleep in his bed, it's been all downhill from there. And then, you know, it's just been one thing after another. And I can't be around somebody who doesn't have my best interest at heart, because I'm the type of person, when I'm around somebody, I have their best interest at heart. 100%. I want to feed you. I want to clothe you. I want to cook you cakes and bake you, you know. I want to take care of people when I'm around people. That's just the type of person I am. I'm very giving. I'm very accommodating. You know, when I stay with friends, I clean their house and wash their dishes. Like, it's just the right thing to do. And, I don't know, I'm too nice of a fucking person. I immediately allowed him to throw me out in the fucking field and run a piece of heavy equipment that I absolutely shouldn't have been running. And in 95 degree weather, mind you, you know, and I was supposed to be looking for a job. So I'm not even sleeping with this man. I'm not sleeping with this man. I'm not working for this man. But somehow, still and yet, I was out there doing work for him when I need to be doing work for myself. And that's codependency. I felt like since he had agreed to fix my AC that I was obligated to get out there and do that work. And he knows that. And I've told him that. I said, I don't like you giving me money. The only thing that I wanted was to fix my AC. The cash that he's gave me is going to go to bills. It's not even enough. It's not even half enough to fix the AC. So, you know, I didn't want that. What I wanted was somebody to listen to me, somebody to understand me. You know, Monday, he threw my abuser up in my face. And when I tried to talk to him about the situation, and I told him, I said, I think you have one story in your head that you think is for real, that's real. I said, but I have a whole nother story that I feel like is the truth. And there's no discussing it. And I told him yesterday, too, I said, I don't even know anything about you. Nothing about your childhood. I don't know what your morals and values are. I don't know if you even believe in God. I don't know anything about you. One thing that I thought I knew was that he was fake, that he would turn his back on me, betray me, and stab me in the back, and absolutely bait me up here, get mad at me, gaslight me, and then call the law on me to try to hurt me. I had a feeling because I'd already been through this before, but maybe I needed to experience it sober. My devices are not charged. That's another thing. I have so many to charge, and it aggravates me living out of my car like this when nothing is charged. Something that kind of flashed back to me today is like, how I said something. I said, you want to hurt me. You want me to do bad. You don't want me to ever open my own business. You don't want me to ever graduate from college. You don't, or like go back and get another degree. You don't want me to do anything like find a career or excel in life. You don't want that. You want me to sit here and rely on you for groceries. That's it. You think that, I mean, and that's the truth. That's what it was for, you know, the half a decade, the 4 or 5 years that I lived with him. Like, he literally did the bare minimum, and now my bare minimum requires the actual bare minimum. Like, back in the day, I thought it was the bare minimum. I thought he was the boyfriend that he should be because I was shooting dope and I was gaslit into believing that that was a healthy, normal relationship. And I had everybody around me telling me that I was blessed to be living in $1 million house and be dating this guy. And in all actuality, he's held me back. Knowing him has absolutely held me back. I've had a lot of friends over the years jealous of some of my old flings, whatever you want to call them, old relationships. I don't know what to call them. Learning experiences, my old learning experiences. There we go. My stepping stones towards the person that I actually need to be with. The person that would show up for me if I was broke down on the side of the road out of fucking gas. Or show up if I had a flat tire. Definitely not call the police on me. I'm not gonna lie, I was egging it on. Because I wanted to see if he would. I want to see your character. Show me. Because obviously I haven't learned my lesson by now. So go ahead and call him. And he did. I slept in my truck last night. I mean, I normally sleep in my truck. I live in my car full time. And, you know, he told me last night, he said, I'm going to wake up. We'll go get some cake mix so you can make me a chocolate cake for the 4th. So at 7:30 this morning, I hear his car pulling out the driveway. I'm asleep in here. And I'm like, oh, well, what happened to going to getting cake mix? And what happened to us getting Starbucks coffee and da-da-da-da-da? I guess, you know, like I said, there's never any time for me. Plans that were made the night before, those are null and void the next morning. If he gets a wild hair and wants to go do what he wants to do. And I don't know. Maybe I think I might have talked about this like 6 months ago when I came to visit him in DC. I said that I thought maybe I'm not saying for sure. I'm just saying that maybe he was doing a little coke or something, like some, because that was his thing back in the day. And I thought that maybe he had sobered up, but his erratic behavior in DC led me to believe that he was still up to something. And so I stopped talking to him for 3 months, and then we picked right back up where we had left off. And I don't know, it's just weird. Like, I don't know why I would tell somebody that I don't feel good, that I'm dehydrated, that my back hurts, that I'm having health problems. Like, I'm still not hydrated from being out in the heat for 3 weeks. When you're setting out in it on a daily basis, you're never fully hydrated. And I kept telling him, like, I don't feel good. I need to rest. I want to eat. I need to focus on eating because I haven't been eating much. I went 1 or 2 days this week without even eating from stress. So I'm like, I need to focus if I'm going to see your family tomorrow, and I need to focus on my health. He don't give a fuck. He wants to go to town and go shopping at Target and go here and go there and this and that. And it's like, if I'm telling you that I feel this bad, and you know that I've been living and trying to survive hand to mouth for the past fucking 8 months, I just felt like he was asking so much from me. And all I wanted was just normal. I just wanted to fucking, like, chill. Like, I don't know. I said a lot of mean shit, I'm not gonna lie. But like I said, I was definitely egging him on. I was like, call the cops. Call the cops. I wanted to see what he would do. And he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. So what it was we were walking out the front door at 1 o'clock. His family's down the road on the same property. They all live on like this big farm or whatever. And we're walking out the door, and I told him, I said, I'm seriously having a panic attack. I said, I feel some type of way about going over here. I said, I feel like I'm being fake by showing up and trying to build a relationship with his daughter-in-law when I know that she said unsavory things about me. I said, it just makes me feel fake. That's all I was saying, is that it makes me feel fake to go over there and say, hey, how are you doing? How you been? How's your kids? How's, you know? And all I was trying to do was express to him that I was uncomfortable and that I was going to try to push it out of the way for the better good of everybody, and to be, you know, because I've never caused any kind of scenes in front of his family or anything in years. Quite the opposite. And he immediately says, you don't talk about her. So listen, when he first said that, I really didn't think much. But later throughout the day, my gears have been turning. Just 3 years ago, he was talking shit about this lady. Just 3 years ago. So I don't understand. You know, my confusion. Maybe things change. Maybe she's a whole new person now. That's all I was looking for. That's exactly what I was looking for. Am I going to have this issue going over here with this girl? Is she going to treat me some type of way because she's not happy with herself? And she's upset with the choices she made in life and the person she married and the kids she had. Do I have to deal and worry about animosity? That's all I was looking for, was validation, some reassurance that everything was going to be fine, that his family was excited to see me because I was excited to see his mother and his daughter. So, no. He immediately jumps down my throat and says, you don't talk about her. Ooh, really? When we start this? I missed the fucking memo. Because just 3 years ago, you were talking about how she was a gold digger. How she don't come from nothing. You know, the fakeness of fucking people. The fakeness. And it's not that I don't like the girl. I actually feel sorry for the girl. I feel really sorry for her. Could you imagine being married into a fucking family like this? Like... Oh, your father-in-law being some cokehead that works for the fucking Pentagon in a trailer out in the middle of fucking Virginia. I don't know if he's on drugs, y'all. I'm just being facetious because his behavior, you know? Like, it's the crispy socks for me. I talked about that when I was in DC. He left socks on the floor that literally stood up on their fucking own. How long have you had them damn socks on, bro? Because we gonna need to damn get a what's the feet people? Podiatrist? What's the feet people, y'all? Somebody let me know in the comments. What's the feet people? We gonna have to get one of them up in here. What are you doing? It was just in the whole weekend in DC, he was like wanting to go. Like, we didn't even have a minute to like breathe and drink a water from all the running we were doing up and down the streets of DC. And I'm just like, I don't know, dude. My anxiety can't do that. I have to have a period of time to rest and relax in between everything I do. It's just an unfortunate thing. I need to sit back and analyze life before I make any rash decisions. But yeah, to defend somebody that you've never been cool with, somebody that's talked crap about you, that you've talked crap about, and I wasn't even talking crap. I was stating facts. I feel uncomfortable. She's told lies on me. She's spread rumors about me. She's bullied me to my fucking face and made me... I asked him, though. I said, when are y'all getting married? I have a bad habit of testing myself and things that I already know, things that I've already been through, lessons. Out there for those that are in America, for those that are USA bound. What are y'all doing for the 4th? I know Kimberly, Australia, it's probably just a regular old Thursday over there. It's so hot here, 95 degrees. Oh, what I was saying earlier, it felt like every time that he would try to like say something positive, it felt like a lie. Does that make any sense? It felt like he was forcing it off of his tongue. I think that that's like really important. I need to pay attention to that more, because people's body language has a lot to do with what they're telling you. You ever notice like guilty people that like testify on the stand? They'll be like, no, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. That's very common. I've seen that so much. People that are like testifying or like claiming that they didn't do anything, they're shaking their head like they did. That's huge. That's body language. People tell you a lot without telling you anything, and it's sometimes what they don't say more than what they actually say. And that's what I'm saying. When he would talk to me to try to reassure me, because I'm the type of person, if I need reassurance, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be like, listen, I'm feeling some type of way, and I just need to hear I'm cute right now. And so I'm very verbal in what I'm feeling, what I need, you know, and I'm not that needy, actually. I'm actually usually the one that my partner is coming to me saying that, like, I need attention. So I'm not that needy, you know. But I was having a panic attack. I haven't seen his family in like 4 or 5 years, and I definitely wanted to see his mom and his daughter. So of course I'm gonna feel some type of way because it makes me nervous. And when I voiced that concern and said, hey, I'm really nervous, like I can't even fucking breathe, I can't find anything, I couldn't get my eyebrows to go on right, my eyeliner was crazy. It was one of those days, girls, you know, it's like bad hair day, bad eyelash day, mascara all clumped up. Y'all know what I mean. When it all goes bad, it all fucking goes bad at once. And it was all going bad at once. And I just wanted some reassurance. But this man is incapable. It's always been that way. It's nothing new. I knew this before I put myself in this situation. But I was really hoping to get my AC fixed. I mean, I don't want him to die. Even though he might deserve it, I don't want him to. That's not my choice. That's above my pay grade. All I know is that his ex-girlfriend, well, the girlfriend he was with that hung herself in our $1 million house, I know that she had kids. And I think I might have somewhat of an idea of what she was going through when she did what she did. And she was in deeper than I've ever been in deep. Yeah, I dated him for half a decade, but I was never in deep like she was in deep. She was living in his house, working for his company, driving his car with her kids. Do you know how hard it is to leave this type of situation with kids and when everything is in somebody else's name? People that are happy don't themselves on a whim like she did. She was going through something, and she had been going through it for over a decade. And I feel horrible for her and her kids. And you would think something like that would make a man look at his life and say, hey, damn, did I contribute to this at all? Did any of my actions contribute to her death? Did my behavior, did my words, did my lack of emotion and emotional connection add to her pain? Some people, they just don't have the awareness to do that. And that makes me angry, and then I lash out. I'm going to be honest. I say some mean shit, y'all. I really do. I don't want to. I feel like, I feel like my pride is hurt. Like I'm embarrassed. After I said that I wasn't going to put myself back in the situation, I do it again. Knowing good and well that this motherfucker ain't made no damn changes. Like, hoping, but knowing good and well in my deepest hearts of hearts, something else that I was thinking about the other day is like how bad it could be like if I like lived with him out here. And my therapist, I called her yesterday and talked to her for like an hour and a half. She said that some abusers use isolation as a tactic. Like they want to isolate you. They want to get you away from like the rest of society or your friends or your family or whatever like that. And this area is perfect for doing that. Like absolutely perfect. There's nobody out here. There's nothing even close to you for like 30 minutes. So it's the perfect area to isolate someone. And yeah, perfect area. Places like this, they don't have women's shelters. They don't even have homeless shelters in cities like this. Like, it's the sticks. Did y'all see those dogs? Did y'all see that? Those two dogs go by in the back of that truck? They were so cute. Could you imagine being married to somebody, the damage that they could do with the cops? I'm sorry, I'm reminiscing on like, it wouldn't be hard to like hurt your spouse if you're married. Like get them locked up or get them thrown in the damn penitentiary or get them thrown in a mental hospital or I don't know. I don't think it would be that hard. That's scary. That's super fucking scary. Why did the cop come up talking about crazy shit? Did y'all see that? Why did he come up talking about crazy shit? He said, I said, my brother. He said, who is he? Like, you don't even know. Like, what are you doing right now? Who gave you a fucking badge? You don't even know the circumstances of why you're here? Like, what the fuck, man? I gotta go back and rewatch that because it was so funny. Oh, God. And he was calling me by my first name, so I guess that he stopped by there to talk to my ex before he come over there. Because he knew my first name, which is weird because nobody knows my first name. But, he's like calling me down because I was trying to back out. I was leaving. I ain't got nothing to say to you motherfuckers. Like, you notice they didn't even check my insurance. They didn't check nothing. They didn't even run my driver's license. He just handed it back to me and said, you're free to go. Really? Guess who just texted me? So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was supposed to be at work. I was actually supposed to be auditioning, finding a new place. I found out today, though, that Virginia, you do not have to pay any money to work in the state of Virginia as a dancer. Now, you have to get hired, you have to audition, but you don't have to have a permit. Certain cities and states, like Georgia, I've worked in Georgia before, I worked in Atlanta, paid $370 for a permit to work down there for like 2 months. Waste of money. You have to go to the city, give over your information and social and all of that, and then you get hired. They give you a permit specifically for one business. You can't just hop around like you can when there's no permit laws in certain states. So, like Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, you don't have to have any kind of special license to go and work. But other states like Georgia, you do. And I think Tennessee too, but I could be wrong about that. If somebody knows, let me know in the comments, because that's definitely my kind of place to go and work. Most definitely. Somewhere in the woods, in the cut, away from the city. There's some nice ones out there, but you have to be careful because there's a lot of bad ones. Just as many bad ones as good ones. And that's another thing. I should have paid attention to the fact that I kept asking about a job at one of his brother's clubs. He owns like 3 or 4 up here in Virginia. And I kept saying, hey, do you know if I need a permit? Do you know if he'll hire me? Do you think that I can just go in and get hired? Like, I was asking how I could get a job up here. And he kept beating around the bush, which leads me to believe that he never intended for me to work. And judging by the fact that he threw me out in a fucking field on Monday, when I was supposed to be up in Richmond looking for work, that tells me all I need to know. He never intended for me to come here and work. He intended for me to come here and jump back into a relationship with him and bed with him. That's exactly what he expected. When I've already made it perfectly clear that I'm not going down that road again. People just don't listen. It's not my fault. At all. The problem is that he lies so much that he can't trust what anybody else says. He always thinks I'm lying because he lies, projecting. I'm looking for these screenshots. So we were talking about Baltimore, Maryland the other day. And the thing about that is that I don't think that area is too safe. I'm reading the reviews online, and it doesn't seem safe. It doesn't. Every club that I've looked at in the Baltimore area, I don't think that you could even pay me to go into it, like in advance. Like, you couldn't give me $10,000 in cash to walk in there. Oh, the other one was Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach, I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Virginia Beach. Shit, I'm going to be hot no matter where I go. There was another one that I was really interested in called Headlights Granby Gentlemen's Club. It looks so cool. There's one in West Virginia, but I don't know if they have permit laws. You have to call. The best thing to do is to call the club and ask, like, hey, do I need a special permit or license? Happy birthday, Aubrey. You can call and say, hey, do I need a special license? Do I need, like, a permit to dance there, work there? Is it like Atlanta? That's what I do. I just call and ask the club, and that's how I found out today that Virginia, you can dance anywhere you want in Virginia. You don't need a license. Rick's Cabaret in New York, I was kind of interested in. It's huge if that's the one that I'm thinking of, but there's also the Ritz Cabaret. I think that's somewhere in like the New York area. Both of those I was interested in. However, I'm scared to leave my car parked in New York. When you live out of your car, and I don't even have anything of value in here. I have makeup and wash laundry detergent, muscle milk. Like, I don't have anything of value in here. It's just the principle. Like, imagine going into work and then coming out and your car being fucking raided, which is like your home. Like, that's just like your safe space. And you're welcome. I wonder if you've ever really got to like appreciate your birthday. Are you in America? Because like, if you're not, then you're not celebrating the 4th. But like, today's the 4th in the USA, so it's Independence Day. And if you're here, I bet it was hard having a birthday. It was never about your birthday. It was always about the 4th. Because I'm a December baby, and my birthday was never my birthday. I always got birthmas gifts, which is like Christmas and birthday, because my birthday was so close to Christmas, it was combined. So I never really, or my parents would like make me have a party with my brothers because their birthdays were also close to mine. So it'd be a joint birthday party. I'm a December baby. I'm all fire. All fire. If you can't tell by now. All fire. I'm not even surprised. I'm actually relieved. Like, that's sad, isn't it? That's sad. I'm relieved. It's like for the first time in like 4 days, I'm able to think now. When somebody tells you to do something and then 2 seconds later they change their mind and change the way that we're going and what we were doing, and then 5 minutes later they change that, and then they change that, and like my mind can't keep up. And I definitely need to be around people that can communicate, can talk about things, can hash things out, and then, you know, get it out of the way. I can't stand having a purple elephant in the room. You know, the elephant where you can't talk about it. Let's walk on eggshells and sweep it under the rug. Like, I can't stand that. And I feel like everybody I've ever been around has been like that. My family, my mother used to care so much about what everybody thought. She cared more about what the damn neighbors thought than what I thought. You know what I mean? Like, I remember going over to my grandparents' house, my great-grandparents' house when I was a child, and my mother would be like, she would literally pull me to a side before we walked in and say, don't say this, don't say that, don't say this, don't bring up that, don't bring up that. Like, that's too much for a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old child. You're expecting too much. Too much. Way too much. If you care more about what other people think than... If you care more about what other people think more than who you actually are, that's an issue. And I know too many people like that. They care about what others think, but they don't want to put in the hard work to actually become a better, decent, halfway decent fucking human. Happy birthday, Pisces babe, 23rd. I've always made it about her first. Yeah, and it should be. It's your baby. Kids deserve the world. And there's so much that I'm not telling y'all, but I wanted to record this and remember this because I'm going to circle back to this in about a year. We're going to come back to this because there's more that I have to say, but I'm not crying today. I'm not crying today. So we'll have to talk about that shit later, but like when I get there. But like there's so much more pain and resentment that I have from the past. And I really wanted an apology. Because he really let me down about 5 years ago. And it fucked up my life. And it impacted my life. Something that impacted my life for the rest of my life. And I suffer on a daily basis because of it. And all I wanted was to know that he was never going to do me like that again, that he was not going to betray me, that he was going to keep his word, that he was going to try to communicate, try to talk about things before it got blown out of proportion. But some people are quite content with just being in any relationship, even if it's fucking misery, rather than actually working towards a good relationship. Does that make any sense? I feel crazy because I am. I say all the time that the majority of people jump into relationships that they shouldn't even be in because they're not emotionally responsible enough to be in that relationship. So they get in a relationship and then they start dragging people down with their bullshit. And I've done it before. I've absolutely been that person before. If you don't want to work on communication, if you don't want to empathize, if you don't want to have to be there for somebody, if you don't want to have boundaries with somebody, if you don't want to show somebody respect, just don't even get in a relationship. Point blank period. Because it's not about you. It should be about the other person and you. But I'm so gaslit that I put the other person before me before I even put myself first. And that's where things get bad. Because then I start taking it personal when they're not treating me how I'm treating them. And then I get upset and get petty. And I'm just being honest. And that's what I don't want. But in order for me to grow, realizing that I have problems, realizing that I've been the problem, you know, admitting to myself that I cause more problems for myself, that's the way that you grow. That's the way that you grow. I don't know. I don't quite understand what you mean, but I'm sorry that you got here kind of late and you don't know what's going on. But yeah, you know, I think that some of the most important skills that you'll have when it comes to having another partner is communication and empathy, understanding. I think that, like, when you want to love someone and you start to love someone, you start to understand them by understanding what they've been through, what they've lived through, what their dreams are, what their future plans are. If I look at you and I tell you that I'm going to be a millionaire someday and you laugh in my face, that's probably not love, in my opinion. Either you want me to fail, or you think, I know exactly what it is. He wouldn't want me if he thought that I couldn't do it. But he will never allow me to do it because he doesn't want me to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, because he wants to keep me weak. He wants to keep me under his power and control. But here's the thing. He would never want me if I wasn't capable of doing the things that I want to do. Does that make sense? But he'll snuff it out of me. He'll never allow me to do that. I'll never have any freedom if I was with him. If I was in that situation and back in that house, I would never have any freedom. I would never have my own money. I would never be allowed to work. I would never be allowed to be happy. If you have a problem, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. I'm going to pray for you. People are so funny. So funny. So funny. Why are you here? If I'm the problem, why are you here? If I'm such a problem for you, why are you here? Why do you keep coming back to my channel if you're not interested? Why do you keep coming back? Why do you keep coming back to my channel? I feel so sorry for you. You're probably some teenage kid judging about... Let me go look. Oh, wow. You've been all over my channel. I didn't even realize that. That's how insignificant you are. You've been commenting on my shit for months, bro. I didn't even realize. Poor, pitiful you. So I'm glad that you could come to my live and be sad. I'll pray for you, whoever you are. I was going to block you, but you keep coming back to my channel and commenting on my stuff and giving me views, so I'll leave you for now. I can't look at your channel, but I'm pretty sure you're probably some fucking gamer in your mom and daddy's basement with no life as well. Yeah, I have no life. Yeah, I'm homeless. Yeah. I can hear fireworks, you guys. That's what we should do. We should go see fireworks. I haven't seen fireworks in a while. The last time I saw him was with this guy, and it was like 3-4 years ago. I met him up in Kernersville by our house. I really was hoping that, like, I don't know. I get to where I guess it's because of the changing that I've seen myself do in the past couple of years, and also being sober. Like, I always think that other people are out here working hard on themselves. I want to have faith in people. I want to see the best in people. Time and time again, obviously, look at this. People disappoint me. This is what I'm talking about. I can't even get a foot up in society because of people like this. You know, and then I have people like this that are supposed to love me, that are supposed to be my friends and family, saying the same shit. And then when I pull out my claws and I'm like, listen here, motherfucker. What we're not going to do today is be mean to Brooke, then I'm the bad guy. And it's always been like that. And I'm just going to keep pushing forward. Because obviously, there's something about me that just, I don't know, gets people going. So maybe I'm on to something. A lot of people lie to themselves. And I stopped accepting lies from people who lie to themselves a long time ago. And I saw through his lies, but I was going to hope that he was going to keep his word. I was hoping he was going to keep his word. And he will. He's already texted me. He'll text me in the morning. He'll text me tomorrow. He'll text me on Sunday an hour before the appointment, and he'll say, are you sure you don't want to get it done? By that time, I'll probably be in freaking Maryland or West Virginia or another city. You know, it's sad because I really needed a friend. I needed somebody who wasn't going to be fake, somebody that could just be honest. I just wanted to discuss everything that we've been through and everything that we don't want going forth further. It is so important to talk to your partner. Communication in a relationship is like literally number one. And I've talked about before how respect, loyalty, and honesty is all you need in a relationship. And your relationship should be good. But if you don't have communication, everything's just going to go to shit immediately. And that's what's happened. You have to build a foundation, and we never had a foundation. I said Tuesday that I felt like our relationship was completely surface level, and that his lack of empathy and understanding, you know, because he comes from money, he has money, and so we're from two different worlds. He's never been to jail. He's never been through anything other than maybe, you know, self-induced drug use. But, you know, he's never been through any traumatic events. His parents are still alive. You know, he went to college and got a great job and has always had an fairly easy life. I'm not saying that he hasn't had hardships, but what I'm saying is we come from two different worlds. And when he met me, he was absolutely preying upon my vulnerability in that day and time and age, because I was going through something where I needed a significant amount of money to help me out at the time, and he used that to his advantage. And I have been through this twice in my life, where people come into my life making me promises and telling me that they're going to be the person that I think they are, and that they're going to respect me and not cheat on me and not verbally, mentally, emotionally abuse me or try to manipulate me for their own sexual perversion. And they do it, but they act like they're my savior because they're giving me money. Does it make it okay to abuse someone if you're paying their bills? That's my question. That's my question for you, since you obviously want to be in this conversation. Is it okay to abuse someone if you're paying their bills? Have you ever paid a bill? Have you ever paid a bill? Thank you, Jason. Thank you. I know it's not right, but I put myself back in that situation because I am desperate, because I am living out of my car, because I was really hoping that maybe he'd changed a little bit. Maybe time out in the damn wilderness changed his mind. Money does talk. He gave me money. It's not about the money for me. I want respect. I want loyalty. I want to be with somebody who's not going to get butt hurt that I won't fuck them on Thursday and calls the sheriff's department on me. I can go be with anybody for money. When I got clean 4 years ago, I cut so many people out of my life. Dozens, hundreds. People from the club, people that spent money on me on a regular basis, people that I thought I was friends with, that always, you know, because they always gave me dope money. They always kept me high. Anytime I, you know, needed bill money, they were non-existent. But if I needed money for dope, they were always there. And when I got clean, I stopped talking to these people. And, I tried to get away from dancing. I tried to go get a 9-to-5. I've been all over 5-6 states looking for work. Nowhere will hire me because I'm a felon, blah, 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 blah. Nothing has gotten easier since I got clean. It's gotten harder. And cutting all of those people out of my life was the best thing to do because of people, places, and things, because those people absolutely would have led me back down the road of drug use. But there was 2 or 3 people that I used to be close with that I decided to try to make amends with, that I wanted to go and talk about things. I wanted to clear the air. You're supposed to make amends. You're supposed to go and be vulnerable and be real about what you've been through, whether it's your mother or whether it's a partner. When you are going through recovery, you're supposed to go and talk about things and try to come to a conclusion. drug use leads to a lot of hurt. You hurt a lot of people when you use drugs, and you behave a certain way when you use drugs. And this man that I am talking about absolutely had a coke addiction. It is no secret. Everybody knows it. And he did things to me because of that addiction. And I absolutely did things because of my addiction. Now, wouldn't you think that if he's clean now and I'm clean, that the best thing to do is to talk about things, to communicate what maybe the future holds if he wants. I mean, he obviously wants me there. He wanted me to move in the fucking day I got there. And that's how I used to operate, but I'm not doing that anymore. I wanted him to prove himself to me. Pretty much. I mean, like, what, you want me? Yeah, okay, ooh, yay, AC, your house. So I can just move back into another shitty situation where you're controlling my finances. So then I can't even make my truck payment because you won't let me work. So then my truck gets repoed and I'm actually stuck out there. It wouldn't be the first time. So no. If you're getting clean and you're going and you're trying to make amends and you're trying to talk to people about things that have happened and they won't allow that to happen, or they fight taking responsibility for their actions, or they're not able to be honest with you or themselves, it's best to just end it right there, because no amount of evidence can convince someone who already, they just, some people are not able to, I guess, communicate. I don't understand it. I have to talk about things. My mind is going 1,000 miles a minute. Always. Like, I have to talk about things. People just sweep shit under the rug and just leave that purple elephant in the room. Always. And I can't do that. I can't be fake like that. That's fake. That's so fucking phony. That's so phony. That's literally so phony. I can't. Oh, wow. He took advantage of a junkie. God. So, there's not a lot in this area. There are some good places, as far as clubs, but they're like an hour away. I'm probably going to head over there tomorrow and check it out. The bad thing is that it's Friday. So, most places won't hire you on Friday. So, you have to wait till Monday or Tuesday. And I guess that's what I'll be doing. I'm definitely going to go to the shop and see if I can't get my AC fixed. I don't know if I'll have the money to do it all, but I'm definitely going to go over there. But by that time, he'll be texting me, telling me that he'll meet me there to fucking fix it, because it's what he does. That's the manipulation tactic. I'll call the law on you one day, and then tomorrow I'll be your savior and come fix your AC. And I really don't give a fuck. The fact remains is, he's never going to grow up. He's not a man. He's not a grown man. He's a weak man. He's a simple-minded man. And I told him that. I said, all you care about is sex. All you care about is sex. If y'all can go find the videos from Culpepper from like 3 months ago, I went to Washington, D.C., and he got a Airbnb, and then he got pissed and got all pissy and kicked me out the room because I wouldn't sleep with him. And so I'm just like, here's the thing though. If you've been raised that way, to disrespect women in that manner, you don't know any better. And I truly feel like he's that dumb. There's a lot of men out here that just truly don't know how to respect women, especially obviously the younger generation. They have no common sense, and not all, but like, you see these videos of girls going to dinner with guys, and then the guy getting mad, being like, oh, you're not going to come back to my room? I ate a $12.50 chicken sandwich. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? I don't know. And that's the problem with hookup culture, because these motherfuckers nowadays absolutely are out here fucking everything raw. Women and men. I've never been like that. Ever. 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 Never. Ever. I actually have fear of STDs. Huge fear. Yeah, huge. And I preach on this channel about that. Are you motherfuckers not scared of fucking gonorrhea ladies? We got the ringworm going around now. The STD ringworm. Oh, goody. Goody. Even better. You can just get it from touching. I told some dude at work. I told some guy at work that I was giving a lap dance last week. I said, he kept asking to kiss me. And I said, it's probably best if you not try to kiss every stripper that you come in contact with. Just a little word of advice. And then he asked me if he could lick my nipples. And I said, you know you can get herpes like that, right? Do you know that this dumbass son of a bitch didn't even know that? That is representation of the upcoming generation. They don't care that HPV is prevalent out here in the streets. They don't care that you can get fucking herpes from kissing or whatever else. They don't care because they're just out here on Hinge and fucking Tinder swiping left and right. Sir, I think you have me mixed up with somebody else. Someone else. Why is this kid here? This is so funny. I love it. So you have HPV. He's not listening. He's that dumb. Y'all get it? So I feel sorry for people that assume shit. I just wish that I could go to his fucking page so I could dox him right now, because I know it's some little kid in his mom and daddy's basement. Wow. I look like I have HPV. Why are you here then? Because you want to fuck me? Because you're mad that I would never be interested in you. That's why. That's why you're commenting on my page. Because you'd fuck me if I was in front of you. You know you would. You'd love that, wouldn't you? Has anybody ever even touched that thing, though? Anybody ever touched it? Looked at it? Is it anything to even look at down there? Is there anything to even look at down there? You need somebody to touch your pee-pee. You're the exact type of customer that would be in a strip club begging to suck on my titty. So go suck on your mama's. How about that? Okay. Fucking entertainment. I love it. I love it when y'all interact. Good or bad. I don't give a fuck. I have never gave a fuck. Ever. Ever, ever. But this kid's proven my point. This is what I go through in society. I try to express myself. I'm very rational. If I'm lying, tell me where the lie was. Just let me know. If you ever hear me lying or if I'm not clear, then let me know, because I'm a very open fucking book, and everybody that comes to my channel says that. Like, I'm very open about wanting to do better, and I'm also open about the fact that society keeps putting me in a box like this fucking kid is. You know what I mean? So if society is not going to give me a 9-to-5 job, what do I do? Because I still have bills, and I've spent approximately $32,000 since last October looking for a job. $32,000 since last October. I'm talking 3 to 7, 8 interviews in a day just to be told, no, sorry you drove from an hour away and wasted $40 in gas. Corporate says we can't hire you. And that's another thing. When I told my ex that, and I said, listen, I have an approval for a business loan, blah, 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 blah. I want to do something. He just looks at me like a space creature. It's what people don't say rather than what they say. He never had any intention of me opening my own business. He had no intention of me going to work in Richmond like we had agreed. He had no intention of keeping his fucking word. He just wanted to get me up here because he thought that it would be enough to break me down, because I've been sitting in the heat since November of last year, you know, when my AC broke in July of last year. So, like, he thought that I was desperate enough to put up with his shit. That's absolutely what he was trying to do. And I'm glad that I didn't fall for it. I'm glad that I got the fuck out of there. I'm glad that the cops came, because that tells me all I need to know. Point in fucking case. No wonder I can't think straight, because I'm around people that treat me like this. You invite me up here to hang out with your family for the 4th of July, and because you don't get laid, you start a fucking argument. That's the type of person he is. And I thought this. But I also thought that maybe, just maybe, me leaving the first time, because I left him like 4 or 5 years ago, I thought maybe me leaving, the impact of me leaving would be so significant that he had actually sat here for the past 4 years and worked on himself like I had been. But no. No, no, no. If anything, the behavior's gotten worse. I would feel like a piece of shit if I did 1/20th of the things that society or people that has been in my life have done to me. Absolutely. Like, I would never even think of some of the things that people have done to me. And I don't know where they come up with it, but it's all in the sake of trying to kill my spirit because they're jealous. I'm sick of being fucking nice about it. Like, that girl that I have a problem with, his daughter-in-law, she used to mooch off of him, and he used to complain about her living off of him and all of these bad things. And he would talk about how, you know, her parenting styles and just everything, her relationship with his son. And he used to be so heavy into not liking this girl. And then today he snaps my head off when I say, hey, I'm having a panic attack. I'm getting kind of uncomfortable. I just need some reassurance before we walk in here and see your family. If anybody was to ever turn to me and say, hey, Brooke, I need a little bit of reassurance in life right now. Like, I am feeling like I got two hands around my throat suffocating me. My anxiety is suffocating me. Can you please just give me some fucking positive words? I would knock it out the park like no tomorrow. Like, that's what I do. That's what I am for everybody else. And I'm sick of being that for everybody else. Like, and for people that want to see me fail. For people that want me to fucking fail. I tried to bring up the cheating from back in the day because he would go missing. He would go on like binges where he would, like, I would be at home cooking, ready to see him. Like, wintertime, it snows a lot in North Carolina. So I would be like, I'm cooking. Do you want to come home and eat? Because he would be at the club for like 2 or 3 days on a binge. Okay. And here I am sitting in this beautiful $1 million house by myself, cooking for myself, thinking that he's going to come home and he's at the club stuck there. When I say stuck, like he couldn't move, like in a crack phase or something, like he was stuck. And he would want me to come and get him. And I'm like, no, it's snow on the ground. You got yourself into this situation. Get yourself out. You've been over there at the club sleeping with all these girls behind my back. Like, do you know what it feels like to be in a 5-year relationship with somebody and not even be able to go without a condom because you can't trust what they're doing? Like, and the whole time they're lying about it. I didn't even find out about half the cheating until I left him. In the past 4 years, I've had 16 or 17 girls come to me over that, actually. I can only say that I know for a fact that he slept with at least half of them. But there's a lot more that are claiming that they were together and seeing each other behind my back. There's several that tell me that he was paying their bills, giving them money. Here I am thinking that he feels bad about all the things he's ever did to me. He can't even acknowledge them. When somebody can't take responsibility for their actions, when somebody is unable of talking about anything that deals with the future or the present or the past or anything, when they can't even get the words out of their mouth, just fucking run. Because that's a person, once again, that's surface level. They're not able to, their pride gets in the way. Well, his does. Not everybody. But a lot of people, their pride gets in the way. They don't want to say that they made a mistake. They don't want to say that they were wrong. They don't want to say that they fucked up. They don't want to say, I'm the bad guy, I messed up, you were right. A lot of people are completely incapable of doing that. To the point that it's debilitating for them, that they just shut down and go fucking missing. Because they are confronted with taking responsibility for their actions. They're just unable to do that. They're not able to do it. A lot of people aren't. Like this kid. So, all right, so, long story short, it was 2012, I had a family member that forced me to go work in this guy's club. My family member told me that if I didn't go strip, that they were going to take my car and kick me out of the house. And they had done this before, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. This has been a long time coming. I've had 2 people, that used money to manipulate me. The first guy did it for 17 years. The second guy is this guy. And it seems like I always fall back into these codependent relationships where I'm having to rely on others, and they financially take care. Not even like, here's the thing, when I got to be careful about how I say this, because I make it sound like I had any and everything I wanted to. Absolutely not. Did I have food in my mouth? Yes. Did I have to worry about being evicted out of my house? Yes. So yeah, I had a roof over my head, but I lived in fucking constant stress because at any moment this person can evict me out of this house. I mean, he can just call the law and throw me out because my name is not even on the lease. So it sounds like the best way I can describe it is I gave up my free will for money. I gave up my free will for money. I gave up my voice. I gave up my opinion. I gave up my strength, my fucking spirit. I let people manipulate and use me sexually for money, for survival. And a lot of people can't understand that. And I understand that because a lot of people are blessed. But I wasn't, and I've never grew up blessed. But I met him at a strip club. I went in to become a bartender, and he asked me on a date. And I stripped one day and never was back in there. He never allowed me to dance in that club again or be in that club in that manner. You know, from the outside, it looks like he was taking care of me, but that's not the case. I was always stressed. My bills were always behind. If I didn't play his mental games and stroke his ego, then I would absolutely be punished to the point to where I wouldn't even have $1 to feed myself. And in the background, I also had the family member that started this cycle of abuse for me in the background blackmailing me. Like, it's crazy. Shit, I hope that's a firework. Yes, it is. What the fuck? That sounds so close. Y'all hear that? My PTSD, it tears my nerves up. Usually when I hear bangs like that, I immediately crank the truck, throw that bitch in drive, and take off. The amount of people that have no like survival instinct is unbelievable, because I'm telling you right now, like, there's been gunshots that I've heard before in parking lots, and I take off and people will just be standing in the parking lot. What's that? What's that? Is that gunshots or fireworks? Who cares? Get the fuck out of there. What are you doing? I'm glad I'm not riding with you, Susan. We would have been dead. Oh, we would have been dead, Susan. No, I got some survival instincts now. My ass will take off. Anytime I hear a loud bang, I think it's gunshots. Those cars that have the loud exhaust and they're just like so annoying. They're so annoying. I mean, they're cool, don't get me wrong, especially if it's a stick, it's fun. But they're so annoying. I think it's gunshots. They backfire. I'm actually not upset that I didn't have to go see his family, because the freaking stress, the masking, that's what I don't like, is the masking. Like, I don't know why I can't meet people that can be accepting of the fact that I've had a hard life and I've made mistakes, but I've turned it around. I don't know why I have to, like, lie. Like, when I worked at the winery, my boss was really, like, concerned about me telling customers about my past. And I understand that it's a bad look to hire a felon, but at the same time, she's a Democrat. Ain't that what they do? Ain't they the ones that be like, oh, we need to prison reform, rehire felons, like, we need to give felons more opportunities. What the fuck? Yeah. But she was so concerned. She's like, oh God, you didn't tell so-and-so that you were a felon, right? No, I didn't. But if I did, it was 20 years ago. Like, what does it matter now? Why is it relevant now? I guess they're going to hold it against me until I can finally get an expungement. I mean, that's literally the only option that I have, is to pay the $10,000 and get an expungement, because obviously nowhere is going to hire me. I'm like up to, like, I don't even know, over a dozen McDonald's so far. They've told me that they can't hire me because their corporate office says that I'm a violent offender. So if nowhere is going to give me a job and I have to keep running back from club to club to club, I guess I need to come up with the money and work on getting an expungement. I guess that would probably be one of the first things I need to do. didn't grab me none, Bradley. You did not grab me any. I'm so mad right now. I walked to the neighbor's house and ate ham out of the fridge. Oops. Let's go, felons. I'll take a piece. Is it that honey ham with the crispy brown sugar on top? That's my favorite. I make a good honey ham, but I smoke mine with brown sugar. And vanilla. I'm a cooker. Oh, that's so funny. They're going to be like, why is there ham everywhere? That reminds me of like when I used to drink real heavy and go and sneak and eat in the middle of the night. Drunk, eat after like drinking, go eat. I would wake up and the kitchen would be a mess, y'all. Like I'd be like a 6-pack in and like 2 melatonins, okay? And wake up 3 hours after I fell asleep and like it would be destroyed. There would be shit everywhere. Like I can't even put it into words. I remember one time I took a whole 2-liter Mountain Dew and poured it into a pitcher, like a serving pitcher at a restaurant. I don't know what I was doing, but I woke up and the whole pitcher was full of Mountain Dew. First of all, I don't even drink soda, so I don't even know where that come from. I had a roommate at the time. Love you, Amanda. Shout out to Amanda. But freaking, there would be like pizza, like burnt in the oven, like I'd left the oven on, okay? Like so many times I've woke up with the smoke detector going off back when I used to drink and doing stupid shit like that, leaving food all over the house by accident. Hello. It's so hot. Yeah, or chocolate. You ever fell asleep with chocolate in the bed? Chocolate peanuts, specifically. If you've never fell asleep with chocolate covered almonds in the bed, well, you've had an easy life. Wake up. What is this? What happened in my sleep? I need vape. I do want to vape. Can I say that I've been doing really good. Like I had been really happy. I felt like I was in a good place. I felt like I was really positive. I felt like, yeah, I was hot. I was fucking miserable because of my AC. But I was content. And I just feel like mentally this has set me back. It's probably going to set me back like a week or two, you know, just like get my grounding again and figure out what I want to do. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, how can I put it into words to make it make sense? Pretty much if I just would have fornicated with this man, then everything would have been okay. I came here to look for a real relationship because we had a relationship in the past. And I was hoping that he was going to be capable of communication. That was my biggest thing. Like I wanted to be able to talk about things that have happened in the past. I wanted to talk about the future. I wanted to focus on building something. And one of my main concerns was being able to work and also go to school and also potentially open my own business. Those are important things to me. And anytime I would bring those things up, he would scoff at me like I was not going to do these things. That's because he already had a plan for me. He already had a plan. And it almost worked. I mean, hell, he stuck me out in the field bush hogging with that heavy ass piece of equipment, and I got stuck in the damn sticky briars, and he's in the house on the phone, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs for help. You know something he told me yesterday? He said, I didn't want to tell you this at the time. He said, but them damn things were in your shoulder. He said, it literally was wrapped up in your skin. He said, if I would have pulled it out, that it probably would have ripped the skin to the point that I needed a stitch. So good thing I didn't get, because normally I would have just ripped them briars out. But he said that thing was long. He said that it was hooked underneath my skin, multiple ones. So when he finally come to get me out, of course I'm fucking aggravated. I've been out here in the heat, doing your dirty work, cleaning up, bush hogging your land with a piece of equipment that's 3 times my size. What was I thinking? If that equipment would have kicked back on me on a stump, I could have died. I need to stop being a pushover. I want to do work like that. I wanted to help him clear his land, but at the same time, it's like, bro, why are you not out here supervising me? Like, I don't have a freaking heavy equipment license. Do you need a license to run heavy equipment? I don't have a CDL. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. Like, it's just a recipe for disaster. It's like, if you don't care about my well-being while I'm out here doing your dirty work, that means I can't trust you. I mean, and I already know this, but once again, I make poor choices, and I say this time and time again. I always talk about the poor choices. I mean, at least I'm fucking honest. At least I can take responsibility for my actions. And that's another, I expressed to him how I felt like I was suffering from CPTSD, that I was recently diagnosed with CPTSD and a complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I expressed to him that when I get stressed out, I can't eat or sleep and function and think, and then it shuts my brain down, and then I just spiral. And I said right now, I need stability. So if I find a job in Richmond, then we can take it, I'm sorry, y'all. I said, we can take it slow and see where things go. I said, if I get hired up there, I said, it's only a short drive to your property. I said, if you want to try with us, then give me time. I need time. I can't just jump right back in your bed. I can't just move into your house. I can't just go through that again, because that's me relinquishing my rights and my ability to take care of my well-being, because I know damn sure he ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna be taking care of him. I'm his fucking rock. The fucking dog won't even go out to piss if I'm not there. Like, you know, so like, I don't know. I just can't be that for anybody anymore. I have to worry about me. I have to start focusing on what is my well-being. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to see if we could have a relationship, but at the same time, I was trying to set boundaries. And the moment that I started to try to set boundaries is the moment that we started to have issues. My therapist said that it is impossible. It will never happen to be able to set a boundary with somebody who is a narcissist or carries the narcissist traits. Now, I've said this before. I don't know if he's a narcissist. All I know is there's definitely a lack of empathy there. When someone is lacking empathy, when somebody can't come down to your level and put themselves in your shoes and understand where you're coming from, that's a lack of empathy. When they're cold and like callous to things that they've done to you, like when there's not even any discussion about it. When you bring them evidence, like, hey, this is what you did. Do you remember this? This was pretty fucking bad. And they can't even talk about it. That's them saying, hey, I can't take responsibility for my actions. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm going to be made out to be the bad guy. And people that get defensive a lot, there's a lot to say about people like that. Somebody that immediately gets defensive about every little fucking thing, that's not good. When people, I feel like people who get defensive like that, they're lacking in self-esteem and they take things personally when they shouldn't be. And everybody I know is like that. Everybody takes everything fucking personal, especially nowadays. They really do. People are sensitive. They've gotten soft. And that's okay. People can be soft. I'm soft. I really am. I'm really soft. I want to be. I read something the other day that was talking about masculinity and femininity, and it said that masculinity has to be earned and femininity has to be protected. And I've always been a tomboy. I grew up with a bunch of brothers. I have 5 brothers. I grew up with my dad and my brothers and my mom, and I've always been kind of tomboyish, but I think that has more to do with the time rather than the family that I grew up. I think most girls in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, most of us were tomboys. Most of us were outside playing, climbing trees, shooting guns, riding 4-wheelers. Like, I see these little girls nowadays wearing makeup and running through Sephora at like 8, 9 years old. It's crazy. Out here dancing. You know my mama would have whooped my ass if she would have caught me dancing on the internet. Whooped my ass. She would have whooped my ass. She would have said, that is not, Jesus don't like that. Like, she did. I did a Britney Spears move one time, and she hauled ass across the house and whacked me. And she says, if I ever see you do that again, I'll knock your teeth down your throat. And all I did was say, hit me, baby, one more time. She hit me one more time, all right. Almost in the next week. She meant well, though. She really did. So there's nothing out here. There's no restaurants. Everything's closed. I just rolled up at Planet Fitness and they're closed. So, I don't know. I don't know what the plans are. What do y'all think? You think I should block this kid? I mean, it's obviously a child. Well, I had plans, Vibrant, to go. I don't even want to say. I was supposed to go to 4th of July with that guy. I'm not coming to visit anybody off the internet. I don't know what world you live in, Bradley, but that's not safe. How you already know? Yeah, I make poor decisions. Make poor decisions. And I listen to too many lies. Like, I feel like, like women, you know how like women get mad and they like shut down? Who is this? You know how like women, when they get mad, they shut down and they'll be like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm not doing that. I'm coming straight to you. And I'm gonna be like, listen, what you did earlier made me feel a little uncomfortable. And I'm sorry for running my mouth because that's all that I know how to do. Like, I'm rational. You know, at least I'm gonna come to you and say like, hey, I fucked up. When you get with somebody that can't do that, they can't come to you and just say, hey, we're having an off day, ain't we? Like, it's a little weird right now, and I can tell that you're in a mood and I'm in a mood, and maybe we just need to like go take a minute alone and breathe and regroup. Like, that's a normal conversation, in my opinion, with somebody that you're trying to be in a partnership with. Like, when things get rough, you communicate, you sort it out, you say, hey, blah, 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 blah. It ain't like that. It'll never be like that. And if you meet somebody that's incapable of doing that from the start, they're always going to be like that. And it's going to get worse as time goes on. Just expect to be in a relationship with yourself. Okay? Just expect to be in a relationship with yourself. I'm sure you can. I don't see why you couldn't, Jason. Anything that bodily fluids. I'm sure you could. They got an STD ringworm out now. It's being caught by just physical contact, skin on skin, and that's not sexual, any kind of sexual contact. That is literally hand on hand. Nice to meet you. STD, boom, you got a ringworm. Like, it's going around. It's so gross. So scary. Oh yeah, that's it. That's what he did today too. That's what he did today too. He threw me more money. You know, he's always got to throw me money. Keep me coming back. Yeah. So I think that the best thing to do is to leave the state, because I don't want to be around here Sunday, because he's already texted me and I know that he's going to try to meet me at the shop and like, you know, oh, I'm sorry. And I just don't, I need to go completely no contact, because I don't need the outside interference of what I know. I already know. I've already figured out, you know, I already know what I know. And there's no more like debating it. I think part of me wanted to see that if his character was from the drugs back in the day, the way he treated me, or if his character was just his character. Because he claims that he's sober. I don't know. It wasn't like he was some junkie that was like over here doing this, and this. He was a functioning cokehead. Like the guys up in DC. That's where he works. That's where he's from. So, you know, like those guys. Like the left, the swamp. Them motherfuckers over there hanging out with. He was Biden hunting Jr., okay? Like that. Like made money. But like stable. I don't know how to put it into words, but he was that kind of cokehead. And he swears now he's not on drugs, but the manipulation tactics and the wordplay and the behavior is still there, the pattern and everything's the same. Nothing's changed. He hasn't changed at all. And I truly feel like the older you get, the more set in your ways you become. And not only that, but also, in my opinion, the older you get, if you've never been able to take responsibility for your actions and admit when you were wrong, it just gets worse the older you get. The denial. Yes, it is. America is definitely the #1 STD population. You know who carries the most STDs? Surprise, surprise. Elderly people. They do. The elderly community be getting it in. Them rest homes, they just passing stuff around like Jersey Shore 2009. Yep. Elderly people. And then you got your youth. But yeah, elderly people be getting it in. And actually, well, I don't want to say that. That might cause some trouble. I was going to start spitting STD statistics, but maybe I shouldn't, because people get annoyed at the truth. People get all upset about the truth. I know, right, Vibrant? That's my point, Vibrant Di. I've been happy. I've been content. I've been wonderful. I've been doing so good. I mean, outside of dying from the heat. But yeah, I've been good. I think that, I've been running on a prayer. And I think that I was stupid to freaking believe that people change, because I know better. Statistically speaking, I know better. I'm going to tell you what, I done seen the cops like 15 times this week. I've had them in my face 3 times. I had them pull up on me at Food Line today. I had the cops pull up on me at, where was I last night? Oh, the hospital, when I was there day before yesterday, because I parked overnight there. Like, y'all don't know me by first and last now. Maybe that's why he knew my name when he pulled up today, screaming my first name. Maybe that's why he knew it. Yeah, I definitely am, Vibrant. I am. The heat's been killing me, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I gotta be pretty damn desperate to put up with this type of behavior. Like, seriously, like, that's how desperate I am, because I wanted to get my AC fixed. That's a huge part of it. But I was also hoping that, you know, I would come and this person would apologize to me and try to make amends with me, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to say, sorry for being a shitface. Like, that wasn't me. That was drugs. But you can't talk to people. Some people are just incapable. They just have no fucking awareness. They don't realize how their actions impact other people. And I can't do anything about that. I can be a really shitty person and I can say some really shitty things. And most of the time that I say fucked up shit, it's absolutely because I'm trying to get a reaction. But I really wanted to know also if he would call the law on me. After he invited me here. After he invited me here and with the intention of helping me. You're going to call the law on me? He absolutely did. And that tells you all about a fucking person's character that anybody should fucking know. I would never do that to somebody. Like, I don't think I've ever called the fucking police on anybody. I've never needed to. Who does that? First of all, I mean, if my house is getting robbed, if he had punched me in the face, hell, there was times where we did fight, and I never called the law on this man. Like, I don't know, but I think it's a bigger issue than that. There's so much more to it. If you knew the family and the history, I feel like there's more to it. Because like I said, I had a lot of anxiety about meeting his daughter-in-law, who has bullied me in the past. This girl has made up lies about me. She's told people lies, whatever. People do that, you know. But I was telling him before we were leaving to go to the party, I said, hey, I'm having a lot of anxiety. I feel like I'm having a fucking panic attack. Can you just give me some reassurance? And he immediately starts screaming at me. Like, I don't know, it was a huge fight. And I said, or no, he's like, well, why? You've met my family before. Why are you got anxiety? Some people have no, I mean, think about that. I'm just envisioning it myself. I'm telling you I have an anxiety, and you start, why do you have anxiety? Well, now you're giving me more anxiety, and my throat feels like it's closing up. Because now you're making me doubt my feelings. You're not saying, hey, you know, and I even told him this. I said, this is the first time I'm actually ever meeting your family. I know that I've met your family 5-6 years ago, and I know that I knew them for this amount of time, but I have not seen them since I got clean, and they've never seen me sober. So this is huge for me. It's like I'm first meeting your fucking family again because I'm sober. Because before I wasn't. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a big deal to me if I'm meeting a dude's family. Like, even if I've met them before, so much has changed and so many things have happened. And it just caused me anxiety. And I got no validation. It was a fucking argument. And then he's like, well, why? And I say, oh, well, it's your daughter-in-law, you know, because of things that have happened in the past, things that she says. And he immediately went for my throat. He immediately went for my throat. He turned, he pivoted around, started running towards me, and got right in my face and said, you don't talk about her. Weird. Is that your wife or your daughter-in-law? Because I'm a little super freaking confused now. I thought all I had to worry about was your lack of emotion. Now I'm worried about your relationship with this lady. Because just 3 years ago, you ragged on her, talked about how she was a gold digger with your son. You've never spoke any nice word about her, to be frank. And then all of a sudden today, it's a whole different story when you're living right down the road from them. Like, I don't understand people, and I'll never know. I'll never understand it. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's fine. Yeah, he takes everything personally. People that have a lot to hide, they take things personally. People that can't take responsibility for their actions, they take things personally. So weird. And then he sends the bitch to my face. That was the best part. When we were arguing, I wouldn't answer or something. We were arguing, he wouldn't answer. I don't know. He sends her, the girl that I'm talking about, his daughter-in-law, over on a go-kart to talk to me. Are you serious? You're going to send the girl that's bullied me, that's talked shit about me, berated me, you're going to send her over here to be a hostage negotiator to get me to come to the party? Like, what are you doing right now? I tell you that somebody has been mean to me, that it makes me feel uncomfortable and nervous to try to go around them, and you send them over to talk to me instead of coming and talking to me yourself. That's the type of man he is. Like, that's another thing. Like, I confront things head on. If I have a problem, I'm going to come to you and say, hey, I got a problem. Some people ain't like that. They run and they hide and they tuck their tail and they hide in their little cave like a coward, and they never confront anything in life head on. And I can't do that. I can't do it. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't even, no, for real though, I wanted to see if he would call the cops on me. At one point, that became kind of my goal. I was like, would this motherfucker really do me like that? Turns out he would. And that was my gut instinct, was like, well, he did do this, and this. He's capable of it. But once again, I'm trying to figure out, was that the drugged him? Because, like I said, the first 5 years of our relationship, we were both on drugs. He was and I was on heroin. So I was trying to figure out if, number one, if he was actually sober. Number two, if he had changed anything, and if the real him was a good him, because the old him was a bad him. Does that make sense? And I know that drugs can, like, me personally, I don't feel like drugs brought me that far out of my character. I feel like even when I was shooting heroin, I still kept some kind of moral compass about me, and I tried to be a decent human. I never stole from anybody to support my drug habit, which is huge, because that's literally like the number one way of income for people to get heroin is theft. And I never stole, ever. And go ask somebody if I stole from them. Like, you'll never find a human that'll say, oh yeah, she screwed me over, she did this to me, she did that to me. You'll never be able to find somebody that says that, because that's not my character, and I've never been like that. And I wanted to know if he was a decent person or if he was fucked up. And I mean, since the moment I got here, it's just been one bad thing after another. And I talk about this to other people all the time, other girls. I'm like, listen, other men specifically, if it starts out bad, it's just going to continue to be bad. And all I was trying to do was set boundaries. I wanted to set boundaries. I needed to set boundaries in order to feel safe there. But he would have never let me work. And I realized that when he put me out in that field after we had agreed for me to go look for work out here. Like, I get here and I'm heat exhausted, and he sticks me out in a field with a 200-something pound piece of equipment that I've never ran a day in my life, but I was good at running. I ran it really good, actually. Y'all seen it. I showed a video of it. I ran it really good. But, like, it's still scary with those big-ass logs out there, because that thing is so big and I'm so tiny, and if it kicks up, and if that equipment flipped over on me or something, I would be screwed. And we saw what happened when I got stuck in the blueberry bushes. I was out there for like 10, 15 minutes screaming at the top of my lungs with nobody to help me. What if it was a piece of equipment trapped on top of me? I think about stuff like that, and I don't have time to worry about stuff like that. If you're going to ask me to bush hog your fucking property, I don't mind doing it. But do you mind fucking being out there while I'm doing it so you can supervise? That's all I ask. But you would think that he would want to be out there. If he gave a fuck about me like he says he does, why wouldn't he want to be out there supervising? Make sure his most precious princess is safe. Like, I didn't want him out there running that piece of equipment by himself. I made it a point to be out there as much as possible when he was using it. Like, I felt unsafe out there with the equipment. And I felt like he was asking me to do something that we didn't agree to. But this is what he does. See, if he can get me in a routine of showering there, of eating there, of washing my clothes there, of being there, of sleeping there, if he can get me in that routine, then he knows that more than likely I would end up staying, because he would break me down over time. And these things don't happen overnight. They take time. But when he realized that I was not going to sleep with him along the way, things just started going really bad. And then when I would bring it up and be like, well, why are you acting like this? Like, it's not that important. He wasn't able to talk about anything. Actually, his personality was what really got me started. So he asked me out to dinner, and he took me to Fleming's in Greensboro. And looking back now, I can see how he manipulated his way into my life, because from the very start, it was about money. And I really wanted somebody, when I met him, I wanted security. I wanted to be stable. I wanted to be with somebody that I could build something with. I wanted to get a house and be with the same person in the same house for the next 30 to 50, 60, 70 years when I met him. But it was never like that. It was never that kind of relationship. The more that I would try to connect to him emotionally, the more he would push away from me and punish me for trying to connect with him. It was a sex-based financial relationship. Anytime I tried to open up to him and learn about his childhood, I've said this before, I know nothing about him. Nothing. Nothing. He never allowed me to get to know him. He's a surface level person. He's incapable of opening up and being real about talking about real things. He's not the type of guy that goes to a party and, you know, I don't know, reminisces with his family on Christmas. He's not that type of guy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He's not deep. He's not emotional. He's more hee ha ha, like kind of comic. Like, he's kind of animated, like the Joker of the party type of person. He's not a serious guy. You know, and maybe that works for him. If he's happy being that, good for him. But I need to have real conversations. I need to know, you know, I want to talk about things. Just like the other day, I told him, I said, I have some concerns about my taxes. I said, I wish that you could really help me out with this. Like, I don't want him to file my fucking taxes. I want him to tell me what I need to do to help myself. Do I need to go hire an attorney? Do I need to go to H&R Block? Do I need to, what do I need to do? And, you would think a man who's in his late 50s, who works for the government, who owned multiple businesses, you would surely think that he would know which direction to point me in. And there comes a point where there's only so many times you can ask for guidance and ask for help, and he tells me no. There's only so many times where I realize that he doesn't want me to succeed. I have land sitting up in North Carolina that I could absolutely have rental properties on. And we've talked about this since 2019, 2018, when I actually bought the land. And anytime I bring it up, it's like, oh, well, that's in North Carolina now. But when we were in North Carolina, he was saying, oh, well, COVID might affect that. You might not be able to get the building permits and do this, and this. So it was one story when we were in North Carolina while we couldn't develop this land and I couldn't build a business for myself out of something that I already had invested in. And now it's a whole nother story now that we're in Virginia. And I pay attention to things like this because, like I said, I've been in 2 different relationships where it was financially based and it was codependency at its finest. And both of them was this way. It was always broken promises. I mean, for 17 years, I tried to get on my feet. I tried to get a degree. I kept going back to school. I've been to school so many freaking times. Do you know how hard it is to work a full-time job and go to school full-time? It's so hard. People that have the luxury of being able to just breeze through college with mom and daddy's assistance are so blessed. I've never had that. And so it's been really hard. And I just finished a semester and I don't give myself enough credit, but I would like to be farther in life. But so many times I could have got a leg up in life. So many times I had several times I tried to open up pole studios. I wanted to teach pole dance, and I even went out of my way to find girls that could teach it with me, because if we're doing it 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, I would have to have instructors there. It's a whole thing. I would have to listen. Several times I've tried to open a business. Did anybody, either one, want to help me? No. No. Not at all. But they'll throw me out in the field and expect me to bush hog and clear land so that they can put a porch there that oversees the mountain view, when I'm living out of a car, dying to find a fucking career and a path in life. Like, make it make sense. I mean, just the thought of me, like, all right, first of all, it's very clear that he wanted to have sex. He kept saying, oh, why don't you come sleep in my bed? Well, first of all, I got a bed, and my bed's comfortable. I love sleeping in my truck. I really do. Unless it's 95 degrees outside. So I kept saying, no, thank you, no, thank you. First of all, I just felt like if me being gone was that important to him, that he would have set me up a space there. If he wanted me there, there's 2 bedrooms. I felt like if he really wanted me there, that he would have set me up a space, but he didn't. Okay, he literally turned that bedroom into a bedroom for someone else. So, okay, I don't understand people. Like, people, you want this, and this from me, but you don't even act like it. Or you want wife behavior with girlfriend pay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand people. All I know is that he absolutely wanted me to move in. He was expecting me to run up here and be like, oh my God. And I'm just not that person anymore, because I don't want to be fake. I don't want people using me, and I don't want to use people, because I've never used anyone. I've loved this man. I loved the man before him. I've loved so many people, and I have no hate towards anybody, and I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone. But I was really hoping that things were going to be different. I don't think I've ever heard him say sorry for anything. And I told him that the other day. I said, you've never apologized to me for anything, for nothing. For nothing. Even, and that's crazy to think about. That means that for 4 or 5 years, every single argument we were in, it was all my fault. All of it. The man can't even say sorry. If you can't say sorry and apologize for something you've done to somebody, you need to work on that, because that's not right. That's not right at all. It's not right to hurt somebody intentionally or unintentionally and not make amends. Recovery or not, I'm talking outside of recovery. I'm talking about like human ethics, like morals. Like, if you do something to somebody, you go and you make amends and you make things right and you let them know that you're sorry. That's just what you do as a good person. You say sorry. And sometimes, if you want to get fancy with it, you can say sorry just because you want to be the bigger person and let shit go and be an adult, and you realize that there's a bigger picture to what's going on, what you're arguing about. Sometimes you just say sorry just to be the bigger person. Maybe you say sorry because you know you were actually fucking wrong. That's kind of important too. But it just seems like everybody I come in contact with, I'm always saying sorry, and I'm sick of saying sorry. My boss at the winery was like that. She was so simple-minded. Like, it was just surface. Like, she would make all of these plans one day, and then the next day there was no mention of these plans. It was like these plans were never even discussed. It was like my time didn't matter. Like, we made plans, so I had other stuff I could be doing, but I'm here for you, but you changed your mind, so now my whole day is shot because I made plans with you, for you, to work for you, to do, whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? Y'all ever met anybody like that, where you would try to make plans and they just did not care about your time or how it would inconvenience you? Or maybe they were late. Like, you agreed to meet somewhere, but then they kept you waiting for 30 minutes to an hour. Like, it's disrespectful. And if I was late to dinner meeting you, I would absolutely say, hey, I'm sorry for being late. Actually, I'd probably text you 1,000 times on the way, swearing that I was on the way. My anxiety, like, I have no chill. I'd be like, I swear I'm coming. I'd feel like you felt like I was standing you up, and I'm so not like that. But it's important to say sorry. I would absolutely be like, hey, I'm coming. Sorry for running late. I don't mean to inconvenience you, blah, 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 blah. I'm actually very professional outside of YouTube, which is surprising. I can be. I got that phone voice, the AT&T, where the voice switch to Valley Girl. Professionalism. But for real, I mean, I just want the bare minimum. Just someone who can say, hey, I'm sorry. You're right. You know what's crazy, though? Is that he keeps coming back saying, oh, God, you were right. You spoke this into existence, Brooke. You were right, Brooke. You were right, Brooke. Like, after time pass, like, I say things into existence. I'll speak something into existence, and I'll be like, this is going to happen if you keep doing this, or this is going to be the outcome of this situation. And it absolutely happened, which is mind-blowing to me. But then I'll talk to him like 3 months later, and he's like, yeah, you told me that was going to happen. You called that. And it can be something as simple as like a tractor. I'll be like, that tire's going to blow soon. That shit's thin. And then it'll blow and turn over in a field somewhere. It's just wild but it's really just common sense. I saw that the tire was half flat and like damn bald. It's not rocket science. It's gonna fucking blow, and you need a new tire, bro. There's no tread. What do you, like, are you just skating around out there on wet grass on that bald ass tire? I didn't. I absolutely didn't. So when I was in active addiction, no, I did not use people for money. I did not. You said, TY, you seem to indicate that you did use people when you were an addict, or no. No. So I've never been the type of person that's out here sending out my fucking Cash App name, asking for motherfuckers for money. I've never been in the streets asking for money. I've never played on people's heartstrings on Instagram for money. Like, even people close to me, it kills me. It literally pains me to ask for help. It pains me to ask for help. It pains me to be up here embarrassing myself, giving this person a shot, and a stupid argument just end it all that quick. Like, I'm so over the situation. Like I said, I'm blocking him, and I'm never talking to this person. I swear to God, this time, I promise. And I just said yesterday that I wasn't going to talk to him. So it's not like I said, 5 or 6 times. I haven't seen the man. I felt obligated to, especially after he shows up at the hospital and throws money in my face. Like, I felt bad. And that's what I'm saying. I knew that was what he was going to do. I called it before he even showed up with the money. I said, watch him show up and try to throw money in my face. And he absolutely did that. Because I've picked up on the pattern now. That's part of the manipulation. It's like, oh, I'm going to come be your savior. They reel you back in just enough. And then the whole cycle starts all over again. An argument leads to a fallout, leads to threats, leads to this, leads to that, it's just... I think the hardest part for me is being able to recognize this behavior but not break the cycle. It's like how. I keep going over my head how. It's hard to be heartless and just cut people out of your life that you've known for so long. But I need to be heartless, because how heartless for you to call the cops on me when you're the one that invited me here. But I ain't gonna lie, like I said, call the fucking cops. I ain't got nothing to hide. Call them. Don't tempt me with a good time. I am such a bitch sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Vibrant. He is poor. What are you talking about? He's living in a fucking trailer in the middle of Virginia. What are you talking about, Ty? Get with it, babe. Get with it. We used to have $1 million house. He failed to pay our mortgage. He got us evicted out of our nice house because of his poor life choices. I mean, he works for the government. I mean, all right, so here's the thing. Apparently, here's another thing. I asked him before I come up here, I said, you're going to be working Monday through Friday, right? You still have a government contract. Fireworks. He says, yeah, I still work for the Pentagon. Fast forward to Monday, he says something about working with new people, but some of the same employees. I said, so your job switch. That's when he starts beating around the bush. And this is what I'm saying. You can never get a clear answer out of his fucking mouth. So I don't know if he has money or not. Because I can't trust a motherfucking word out of his mouth. Like, he throws money in my face. But when I actually need something, like, how can I explain it? If it was money for dope, he would give me money every day. But if it's money for my education or starting my own business, it'll never happen, because he doesn't want me to be able to stand on my own feet and do so. He wants me to solely rely on him, because that way he can control me and get me to comply with his money. All I know is that I've never been the type of person that is willing to take... I can't just lay down and take it for some money. I just can't. I've never been that type of person, and I'll never be that type of person. And if I was, I wouldn't be living in my fucking car. Don't y'all think I can go find some dicks to suck for some money? Like, people really be like, nobody uses their fucking brain anymore. Like, oh, God. I don't know, man. I can't put myself in the situation to have to go through this on a daily basis because of what I've already been through, my PTSD, my CPTSD, all of these conditions that I'm suffering from. We all have issues. And if you don't, good for you. Great for you. But I do. And, going through all of these things, I can't even, think when I'm in an argument with somebody. Like, when I'm arguing with somebody, I can't function. It disrupts my daily life because it upsets me that bad. And I've talked about this before, how emotional I get. Like, I probably do not regulate my emotions very good at all, and I'm being honest, but I've gotten better because I haven't punched anybody in the face in the past 8 years at the very least. So I'm doing really good, and I'm not laughing because I'm being dead ass fucking for real. I used to fight people. You used to look at me wrong and I'd mop your ass. I didn't care if you was a woman or a man. I would fight you in a bar. I'd fight you in a barn. I did not care. And I've done so good, and I've made so many changes, and a lot of it starts within, like me, like knowing myself and my temper and what I have the patience to deal with. And relationships like this, I ain't got no patience for. See, here's the thing. He gets me riled up. He yells in my face, and then he takes off. And I don't know where he went. But he does that on purpose to rile me up. Because I guess he was probably upset. He was probably upset that I didn't want to go to the 4th with his family after the argument. Because I'm like, well, you're taking up for this bitch now. Like, why do I want to go hang out with somebody who's talked smack about me? Like, you can't even give me reassurance that everything's going to be cool. Like, and then you're taking up for this girl? Like, wild. 3 years ago, that would have never come out of his mouth. He hated her. It's crazy how people, you know what? It's probably because they live down the road from each other, and she is the mother of his grandchildren. So they're, I can understand why, maybe, no, I can't understand. Because it's not like she was there. It's not like she could hear anything I was saying. It's not like I would go to her face and be like, oh my God, you're such a bully. You used to treat me like shit and talk about me and lie about me. It's not like, yeah. Yeah. Because that dang truck, probably. Probably. I don't know. I've been sleeping on the property over there, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nowhere to even pull in and sleep here. So, and it's little things like that. When you're out in the country like this, and there's no gas stations, there's no restaurants, there's no hotels, there's no nothing. I mean, to just kick somebody out and be so fucking like, I don't know, dude. Particular. He's very particular. That's the thing. Like, y'all remember, Vibrant Dottie, you remember when I was trying to talk to that kid and I told you he was like younger than me and I just felt uncomfortable with the age gap, and he was like courting me, okay? And he kept talking about my car. He kept circling back around. It seemed like every other conversation he was talking about my car, wanting to drive my car, or me doing something for him with my car, or us going and doing stuff in my car, and it always came back to my car, because the kid didn't have a car, because he had gotten in trouble. And one thing I don't play about is my truck. People don't drive my truck. Ain't nobody ever drove this truck but me. I had this truck, and this is my baby, and ain't nobody driving my whip. Simple, plain simple. I don't make stupid mistakes like that. Never have, never will. So freaking, he kept circling back to my car. And finally, I said something about it. I was like, yeah, well, you talk about my car a lot more than you talk about me. He was telling me what his motive was. I wasn't listening. And this is the same situation. When he kept talking about sleeping in his bed, he's like, oh, well, you can sleep in the bed. I'll sleep on the couch. First of all, I would never do that. I'm not going to put some guy out of his bed on the couch. I'll sleep on the floor before I do that to somebody, because I have a conscience, okay? And it's not right to put somebody out of their bed. Like, it's just wrong in my eyes. I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's one thing if it was like my mama. I'd give my mama my bed. That's about the last person I'm giving my bed when they come to my house. Ain't nobody sleeping in my bed at my house. But anyways, he kept circling back to the bed and me sleeping in the bed. And I was like, no, I'm going to go to my truck. It's cool enough to sleep out there tonight. And it was. But, like, he was telling me. Absolutely telling me. And I have no doubt that he wanted to show me off to his fucking family. It's always been like that. Oh, I used to hate going to the club with him. Because I knew all the girls talked shit about me. All the strippers hated me. Well, about that. All of them wish they were in my place, but in all actuality, they have no clue of the hell that I was actually in. Like, I was trying to think if there was any good times. And I think that those past years that I was on drugs before I got clean, I don't remember any good times from those years that I was on drugs. I've been happier living out of a car, struggling through the fucking heat, figuring out how I'm going to take care of myself. I've been happier doing that than I was on drugs. And I just want to stay that way. But being around people like this, and you know, it's already went through my head, like, is he messing around with, it's already went through my head, because he just goes missing, and I'm like, where the fuck is he at? He's been gone for 3 hours, his car is out there, like, I don't understand people sometimes, y'all, and then when I say something like, where'd you go? Like, where have you been for 3 hours? Your car is still here, you're not in the bathroom, like, are you alive? I don't know where he went. He never told me, but he would get missing like that all the time, and he has several times this week. So I don't know. But one thing that is for sure that we know without a doubt is that most people don't change. Most people don't get clean, and it's a harsh reality of addiction. Most people end up drugs, institutions, or death. And so, I don't know. I know he had me pissed, though. And like I said, he'll be like, oh, are you going to show up and get your AC fixed Sunday? He'll act like nothing happened. Nothing. And if I even try to bring it up, yeah, it's just, he's not going to talk about it. God, I hope that's fireworks. They feel really close. Can y'all hear that? It sounds really dangerous. I will say that there's been a lot of shootings recently. I've been hearing a lot of gunshots at night when I go to bed, more than last year when I was living in Florida in Jacksonville. And Jacksonville's pretty dangerous where I was at. I was over off of University, which is like the old city. So it's like what the cops would consider like the bad side of town, or like rich people would consider the bad side of town. But it's where I fit in. It's where I felt comfortable. But I heard gunshots over there like, I don't know, a few times while I was there. But I hear them so much more here where I'm at. I saw this girl try to run her boyfriend over in the Trader Joe's parking lot. Saw another girl, another people shooting at each other in the very same parking lot. Like, it gets dangerous living in your car and being out here, and it does scare me. And that's another reason why I was trying to park on his property, was because it is very dangerous. Like I said, Planet Fitness is closed. I can't sleep here tonight. I won't be able to rest knowing that there's nobody in that building in case of something happened. I need to be around somebody that can hear me scream if necessary. Y'all, oh my God, this rainbow is so pretty. Can y'all see that rainbow right there? It's the weirdest colors of purple and like pink. Can y'all see that? Probably not. See the green and the blue? Yeah, I feel bad for you, Ty, because I think Canada's more expensive than up here. Ain't y'all's currency a little different? Isn't things a little more expensive for you up there? Things have gotten so expensive here. I don't see a foreseeable future of me ever moving in anywhere. And I'm definitely not moving in with anybody that's going to treat me like this. And like I said, I'm not an angel. I'm a lot to deal with. But I expect a lot. Like, I just want normal. Like, if I can't set a boundary and say, hey, my time is just as valuable as yours. If we're going to plan to do family get-togethers, I need to know at least 2 days in advance, date and time. That has been impossible. That right there is all I wanted, was enough respect to just know when we were going to have 4th of July. Is that too much to ask in a relationship? Am I crazy for wanting to know when and where I'm going to have to meet your family? I don't think it's too much to ask. And when you ask this SOB, he says, I don't know. My daughter will call me. I don't know. And I'm like, well, why don't you call her and ask her if there's anything else that we need to bring? And while you're at it, ask her if she knows what time we're supposed to get together. How hard is that? I mean, you have to be a crackhead if you can't follow a simple direction like that and want to make things easier. Something's going on. I don't understand it. Unless you're trying to fight. It's the stupidest, just like the sticky briars, the dumbest thing. The dumbest fights. Dumb. Yeah, I think that it's really bad in the Raleigh. Well, no, not even Raleigh. Raleigh ain't even that bad. I've been in Raleigh, and Raleigh ain't even that bad. It must be because they got money up there. It's the capital. Makes sense. Raleigh ain't even that bad. Hillsboro, I haven't had any problems in the Hillsboro, Chapel Hill. Like, it's not bad. Charlotte and Greensboro, you will die. You will die. I don't know why it's not talked about more. It's literally I think Greensboro is one of the most, like, dangerous cities. High Point is one of the most high-trafficked drug areas in the state. Like, it's dangerous. I don't know if it's, like, Cincinnati or, like, Detroit, but it's pretty damn bad. I mean, there's people that die every day in random shootings out here in Greensboro. I've noticed, though, through all of my traveling and living out of my car for, a while now, that, when you go to the good side of town, and I say that lightly because I don't know what else to call it, the rich side of town, the prosperous side of town, where it looks like no one is struggling financially, where everybody's out shopping on Saturdays and Sundays, buying new shit from Foot Locker and Dick's Sporting Goods, shit that I can't afford. You know exactly what I mean. When I'm out in that area, it's a lot safer. I mean, I can notice a difference than some of the other areas that I'm in. And it's really like night and day, two sides of a city. And it reminds me of the Hunger Games. Absolutely. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And then we're going to kill the middle class because they're going to have to fight to stay the middle class. We're going to make them work for it. You're going to have to fight to stay middle class. And if you don't make over $100,000 a year, you're not going to qualify for a home loan in North Carolina. $377,000 is what, like the median house, whatever, y'all know what I mean. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Things are not getting cheaper. Things are getting worse, and crime is absolutely worse in the Greensboro and Charlotte area. But if I go to the good side of town and sit like in the shopping centers where like people are out doing their Saturday shopping and stuff, they call the law on me. They absolutely do. They call the law on me so many times. And Lord forbid, it's a hot day and I'm in my seat and I nod out because I'm fucking exhausted and I'm going on like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. It's so hot, you can't fall asleep. No one, if you can fall asleep in 85-degree weather, I would literally hand you an award. Like, that would amaze me because I don't understand how people sleep when it's hot. I gotta have it like 65 degrees, y'all. Like, at least. Like, look at my hair. It's soaked from the sweat. Like, my clothes, I could wring those out. They're like soaked with sweat. You can see the sweat. But my point is that I can't sleep if it's hot. And some of y'all, like some people that I've dated, they keep it like 72, 73 in the house. I can't do that in this car. I can't sleep with the windows down. I'm about to suffocate. It sucks. I've slept in 100. I don't know how you fell asleep in that. Honestly, that's a miracle. That's a miracle. I bet you woke up soaked, like your clothes and your linens, your bed linens. When it's that hot, your body turns into a snail. You're just leaking. I mean, it's like you're a snail, and your whole body, all of your skin is turning into slime when it's that hot. And, you know, when it's like 105, or it was like 105 in Raleigh last week, and freaking the heat index was 105. So if it's that and it says feels like 105, that means it's every bit of like 115, 120 inside of this vehicle. And the thing is that I normally don't sit with my windows down like this. The only reason that I am right now is because I'm in an area where it's not like, I don't see like homeless people walking around asking for money. I don't see, you know, crackheads bent over asleep, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel threatened where I'm at. But a lot of places that the cops force me to sleep, because once again, if I'm on the good side of town, the cops seem to always find me. So I go to the opposite side of town where I won't be bothered. But I can't sleep with my windows down, you know? It's just unsafe. That sounded more like a gun. Y'all hear these things going off around me? Yeah, it just rained here. I was hoping it would cool it off, but it actually made it hotter and stickier. Who's they? I don't know. Oh, I don't know if you're talking about like where I just came from or the heat. Shame on the heat for being so damn hot in the middle of summer. Shame on you, heat, Mother Nature. I mean, we really are. It really is getting hotter. We know that. I've said this before, without a doubt. I'll be honest with y'all, though. I'm so tired. Like, I'm burnt out. I'm so tired. I think I've been tired since, I don't know, for about a year now. Like, I'm physically, mentally, spiritually exhausted. Like, I'm happy that I'm free. I'm happy that I finally, for once, can think for myself and have free will and not have any outside interruptions fucking with my frontal cortex. I mean, when people come into my life and I get emotionally attached to them, when they hurt me, my frontal cortex it turns into a blender, and it feels like my brain is just being blended to hell, and I don't know which way is up. I don't know which way to turn. I don't know what I should do first, how I should react, what steps to take to make things better. ADHD. My ADHD is so bad. So bad. I'm sure you can tell. There's no denying that. You can tell. It's really bad. And then you add stress on top of that, and anxiety and depression. I think I have situational depression. I think I get depressed because I get down in the dumps. When you're living like this on the road, like Planet Fitness ain't even open, y'all. I don't know how I'm going to wash my ass. Thank God I took a shower before I left his house. I was planning to go to a party. That's why I got all done up for nothing. First time I put on makeup in how long? I never wear makeup. I like makeup. I actually love makeup. But I just don't get around to having the time to put on a full face of stuff a lot. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to... I don't know, maybe I didn't realize how bad the lack of communication was because I was on drugs back then. Like, some of the stuff he said was so astounding. I was just like, did you used to talk to me like this before? Did I just forget that you talked to me like this before? And I said some mean stuff too. Absolutely. No denying it. Not gonna deny it. But once again, just like with the tractor thing, like, if I tell you, hey, maybe you need to be out here supervising me while I'm operating a piece of heavy equipment, you would think that if you cared, you'd be like, yeah, I agree. You know what? That's a great idea, Brooke. Maybe I shouldn't leave you unattended because those logs do catch the blade and kick it back, and it weighs more than you do. But that wasn't the response I was met with. I think that's gunfire. It's fireworks. I think Winston-Salem and Greensboro has always been dangerous, though. The Greensboro area, I think that it's gotten worse over the years, especially like parts of Jamestown and High Point. That used to be my stomping grounds. I used to go over there every day and buy dope. For years. And, you know, for the most part, people leave you alone. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you if you don't mess with them. As long as you mind your fucking business. Keep your head down. Pay for your gas and get the fuck out of there. Simple as that. Simple as that. You might have the occasional guy hitting on you, but other than that, like, I've really never had any problems on any side of town or in any city other than when I go to a bougie, classy area. Like, when I was living in Florida last year, I lived in Jacksonville, and I would go to Neptune Beach a lot. And when I was at Neptune Beach, the cops would always show up harassing me because they knew I lived out of my car. So, of course, I have to be on drugs. Of course. How kind of you, sir, to assume. But, you know, I couldn't be possibly down in Jacksonville working a full-time job, looking at college, and trying to figure out life. Just unable to afford $3,000 in rent a month. Which was the case. I miss Jacksonville. It was a lovely area. But the way that those cops treated me over at Neptune Beach, I highly doubt that I will ever make my way back to that beach because of the discrimination that I faced when I was there. And the fact is them rich people don't want poor people on their beach. Simple as that. They don't even want to see us. They don't even want to see us. Out of sight, out of mind. Which is fine, because I don't want to be around people like that anyways. I'll take my ass to Hannah Park. Yeah, the cops are pretty cool usually, but I have had some bad cops wake me up in the middle of the night. I've had certain cops that have hit on me out in the middle of the woods. That freaked me out. That happened a couple of months ago. He woke me up, and he says, "What are you doing out here in the woods?" And I said, "Well, I'm trying to enjoy the full moon." It was a full moon. It was gorgeous. I went out there. It felt great. It was in the 50s. It felt wonderful. It was a perfect night for camping. And I'm out in the woods, and the cop rolls up on me. And I said, "Well, I was trying to enjoy the weather." And he says, "Well, you can't park here. Da, 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 da." And I said, "Well, do you happen to know where I can overnight? Can you point me in the direction?" And he told me where to go. And then he says, as he's leaving, he turns around and he says, "Oh, and you cute too." I mean, I don't know what he was expecting me to say, but I get so uncomfortable when people that I don't know give me compliments. Like, you know, like when it's just me and him out in these dark-ass woods. So I said, And he says, "I bet your boyfriend is lucky to have you." The old classic digging for information line. And I said, "Yeah, he is." And I got the hell out of there. And then I could have turned into an episode of Law and Order because I went and parked exactly where he told me to park overnight. But I failed to realize that it was only one way in and one way out. So if he was a bad cop, he could have come out there and done something to me, and I never would have been able to do nothing because I wouldn't have been able to make it out of there unless I crossed a river by swimming it. So I could have put myself in a bad situation, but apparently he's a decent cop. I've seen him again since then in this town. Yeah, he sure did. But get this. He ended up going to the winery that I used to work at for a noise ordinance at the winery, right? He shows up and starts hitting on my boss. Yeah, a married woman that owns the winery. He started hitting on her at the winery. He didn't know I worked there. I don't think he did. He might have. I don't know. I think actually I told him that I worked at Dragon Glass Winery. So maybe he did know I worked there, but I don't know. I didn't see him that night, but my boss told me about it. And she was like describing him, and I said, "Was he this color? Was he this? Was he that?" And she was like, "Yeah." I said, "That's that same damn cop that had me up in the woods freaking out." She said, "No way." She was like, "Yeah, he was talking about me and blah, 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 blah." Sexual stuff. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I feel like there's two different... I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a couple of different type of guys. There's certain guys that blatantly stare and go out of their way to be closer and closer to a girl in public. That shit's creepy. I've had those experiences. I still have those experiences, especially at the gym. Like, I swear that some of these old men, and I'm talking about 70s, 80s, I swear some of them want to get close enough to me at the gym to smell my sweat. I know that sounds crazy, but listen here. I've been in some situations where they have tried to get obscenely close to me. And I'm like, when I say I'm pouring sweat, I'm leaving sweat puddles everywhere I sit type of workout, okay? And I don't know. Maybe and also when I do kick press, so like my knees are up at my face and I'm kicking weight, there's certain guys that will absolutely go in front of that machine and look right at my vagina as I'm kick pressing 195 pounds. Shit like that freaks me out. But then there's some guys that are not like that at all. I know so many men that are normal that don't behave like that. They don't come to the gym looking to fucking stare some girl down and try to see a fucking camel toe. How weird. Do you not have a life? They make porn. In my opinion, and I've said this on here before, I feel like the younger generation of men, the respect that they have for women is a little bit different than maybe the older generation. I'm not saying it's any better, it's any worse. I'm just saying it's a different type of respect. I feel like back in the, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it was okay to treat women a certain way. And, I don't know. I feel like the younger generation recognizes that maybe some of that was unhealthy. Just a little bit. So, I do think that, like I said, I talked to a 26-year-old kid and he probably treated me better than most of the people that I've dated in my life. And that was it. Like, I've never dated somebody that's younger than me, first of all. Second of all, I've always dated older than me. Third of all, I never thought that I would even entertain the idea at my age of talking to a 26-year-old, but I'm glad that I did because I learned a lot from those few weeks that we were hanging out and friends. Like, I learned a lot from this kid, or this guy, and the age gap freaked me out for sure, though. That's just, I don't know about that. It was just too many differences. Our priorities were different. We were in two different places in life. I'm kind of bougie, I want basic, simple things, hand soap, towels, food every day. Some people don't need things like that in life. They're just perfectly capable of breezing through life with no soap to wash their ass with. I've seen that. I think I read something where all-girl gyms are supposed to become really popular in recent, upcoming years. They're going to, I've seen, kind of segregated, like CrossFit. There's a CrossFit place in Jamestown that does, girls-only classes. I've seen certain groups offering women only, cycling classes and stuff. I don't know if it'll become a bigger thing, but I would love an all-girls gym, or maybe a gym where I can go in and buzz myself in, and I can go when they're not so busy. I used to have a gym like that. It was called Beauty and the Beast, and I quit going there because I moved away from the area, but I miss that gym because I could just go in anytime I want. I could just buzz in. So I had the option of going at all hours. It was 24 hours and I could be in there by myself. I miss that. And I've talked before on here about how uncomfortable I am with Planet Fitness's policies. The way that they have handled situations in the past. And that continues. So, yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like the guys that go into these Planet Fitnesses, the guys that work there and actually clean the locker rooms, you would be surprised at what they look like. They look like the type of men that would love to be in a locker room, a female locker room, if you get what I'm saying. They look like they ain't come out the basement since Jesus was a boy. They look like mom and daddy forced them to come get a little part-time job. I understand that people are lonely, but that doesn't, I don't know, man. It's scary for me to have to deal with men in that setting. And it's not that I mind that they even clean the locker room. If y'all want to clean the locker room. But just make sure there's no women in there. And if one of us comes in there, be respectful and go back to the front desk until we're out and we've cleared the space. How hard is it to come up with some kind of solution for this issue? I don't think it's that hard, but they don't care. But that's why they've lost, what, $500 million? And counting. Planet Fitness might be the next one filing for bankruptcy. We'll see. I don't know. They might be able to turn it around. What y'all think? You think they'll be able to recover? I don't know. I guess I'm actually looking forward to a whole nother state. Well, actually, like I said, I'm going to stay in Virginia and I'm going to check out some places. But then I would really like to check out Virginia Beach, to be honest, because I've never been. I've never been to Virginia Beach. I wonder if it's anything like the North Carolina coast, or like even better, the Keys. I wish it was like Key West. If it looks like Key West, y'all ain't never gonna see me again. Let me just go ahead and let you know right now, if it looks anything like the Florida Keys in Virginia Beach, you will never see me again. Because I love the Keys. I wish I could live there. They have strip clubs there, and I went down there for my birthday year before last, and I stayed for like, I don't know, a couple weeks, almost a month. I stayed in a hostel, and then I ended up camping it in my truck half the time, and I had a blast by myself. It was probably my most favorite summer that I've ever had, and the best summer I've ever had, and I had it by myself on a beach, and with the bare necessities too. So I'm down there, and I'm on Duval Street, and I'm going by all of these strip clubs. But they're not strip clubs. They're houses. They're like these, y'all know them little like crack shacks. Like, it's literally like a little house from the 50s, and it would have like one bedroom, one little living space. It's like a I don't even know. It's just like a little house, like the house from Forrest Gump, Jenny's house, like that, okay? All of the strip clubs off of Duval Street looks like Jenny's house, Jenny's papa's house from Forrest Gump. Like little shacks. Like, they look run down. They look like they've had 1,000 coats of paint. They got like that fake green carpet stapled to the steps. That gray, it looks like grass. It's like fake grass carpet. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Shitholes. They're all shitholes. They got the girls sitting on the porch of these strip clubs in Key West. And these girls ain't even got shoes on. They running around in pantyhose, barefooted, with nipple covers and a thong, sitting on the front porch. I didn't even go in to ask about a job. I sure didn't. Didn't even go in to ask about a job. Oh, fireworks are giving me anxiety so bad. Well, I'm glad that did everybody have a good 4th? I had a great 4th. Wonderful. Wonderful. Per usual, same shit, different day. I never learn. At least I'm honest, though. At least I know what my problem is. At least I ain't lying to myself. I'm the problem. I know. It feels good to be honest, though. I wish some people that I used to love could experience that. Truth and honesty. It just feels so good to fucking get it out there, you know? And there's so much, like, when you use drugs for a long extended period of time, you stop developing emotionally. You stop growing. You just stunt your growth. Whenever you started using drugs for me, I was around, I would say, a couple weeks shy of my 18th birthday. And by 18, I was fully going in, full-blown, doing all kinds of stuff. And, you know, when you're doing that and you're living that life, you're not growing. You're not experiencing things. You're not making small mistakes that you can learn from. You're making huge mistakes that are irreversible, that's going to fuck your life up, that's absolutely going to follow you, but you don't even realize it at the time. And when everybody else is around you high, too, you think it's the cool thing to be doing. And for a long time, I think I wanted to not be here. And I really had given up on life. But I'm not there now, and I'm glad I came around, and I'm glad I'm sober, and I just want to remember all of this. I'm going to be somewhere someday, not stressing about anything, enjoying life, happy, content, owning a home with this gas guzzler paid off. And I'll finally finish some kind of degree. Something. See, that's what I'm saying. It's so hard to go back to school and work a job. Like, I got financial aid, but it's not going to cover all of it. I mean, if I pick a trade, then it absolutely should cover most of it. If I was to go back for carpentry to get my little certificate, do a certificate program, or take the welding classes, there's so much that I could do that financial aid could pay for, but I have to be in one place making money on a consistent basis, and that's the issue. Just like when I went to Raleigh, the past 3 weeks I worked in Raleigh, that is not consistent. Yes, I made money. Absolutely. I was, some days, the only one that made money. I got lucky, but it wasn't consistent. That shit fell off. I sat there for 2 weeks and didn't make a dime, essentially. Every time I would make money, I felt like the club was taking the majority of it. What am I doing? Who am I working for? You or me? It wasn't a good fit. That club was not a good fit. But I know I'll find somewhere that's a good fit. So that's what I'm going to do. That's all that I can do. That's all that I can do. You know, it's really sad that some people never learn. So many times I literally said, hey, can you not be like this towards me? Can we talk about this? And that's the way it's always been. I've always been the one that's trying to put in the effort, trying to talk about things, trying to make the relationship whole. When in all actuality, he's quite content with the way that things are. He sees nothing wrong with the way that things are. That's why he's not trying to fix anything or work on anything or talk about anything, because he's a surface level person. And that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know if him being sober, like I said, I don't know, but that's what he says. I don't know. I wanted to see if he was a different person. If somebody can't even acknowledge the problem, there's no way that we can fix it. Hell, at this point, I think maybe like in the back of my mind a little bit, I'd kind of already made my mind up about the situation. I really wanted to make it through today and see how things went and get out of here. But I wanted to get my AC fixed. And that's another thing. He kept pushing my appointment back at the freaking shop. It was supposed to be done on Wednesday, yesterday. So now it's Sunday. So it looks like I'm not getting it fixed now, which is fine. And I'm not spending $1,300 on a part. I just cannot bring myself to do it, y'all. I can't. I don't even know if that's how much it's going to be. I'm just assuming, because I do think that it could have something to do with the AC compressor. If that's the case, then that's not going to be cheap. That's a big part. Well, it's not a big part, but it's an expensive part. And I would have to drop it off for Sunday night and then pick it up on Monday. So I have to be somewhere in order to get it fixed. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I would have to have transportation there and then back, and I'm not going through all of that. Like, I just cannot. I'm about to take my makeup off and go find me some food. I really haven't even eaten today. I haven't eaten today. What am I talking about? Fucking stress makes me spiral. If I talk this much right now, imagine what my mind feels like. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I have to get away so that I can, like, think. When I have so many different people in my ears, I can't think. eyebrows are off. Like that, whole different person. That's another thing. I couldn't get my makeup to go on right today because I was so nervous. Y'all don't know how frustrated a person can get until they slinging mascara and eyeliner at their self in the mirror, okay? Trying to fight themselves because they're so frustrated that their hand's shaking. Like, it's so hard to do makeup. When I nail it, though, I'm so proud of myself. But I couldn't get my eyebrows to go on right. I couldn't get my eyeliner on straight. It was just one thing after another. And when things are going like that, I got to learn that it's okay to change my mind. Because at that point, I'm halfway dressed. I'm having a panic attack. I don't want to go. All of my fears and anxieties are immediately like they're coming true, and they're smacking me dead in the fucking face and strangling me. And I say, hey, can we talk? I need to talk. Hell no. Oh my God, if I have to listen to this all night, I'm not gonna, I mean, the weather actually is not that bad. Are you still here? Are you still here? Amazon kit. Russ, do they sell parts for all vehicles on Amazon? And they sell all kinds of stuff like that. I'm curious, because maybe if I can get the part, I can take it to a guy that I know in North Carolina that can actually do the work for me, the labor. I mean, I have an appointment. Maybe I should just keep my appointment. I don't know how I could, though. I guess I could get an Uber in a hotel. Oh my God, these fireworks. I should have knew that Virginia was going to be blowing shit up. I should have knew it. Y'all were probably the poster child for freaking blowing things up. Right next to Texas and Florida. Oh, thanks. Well, it's fireworks. I know it's fireworks because it's 4th of July. So I can tell it's fireworks. But there's times where I'm parked somewhere and I'll hear gunshots. And I don't even question it. I pull my window covers down. I crank my truck up and I just take off because I'm scared. Because, you know, people die from stray bullets all the time. It happens. And it usually happens in the damn city. So I just stay on my guard. And if I hear gunshots, I try to get the hell out of there. I was at some Subway one day. And there was these 3 little teenagers. Hee and ha and in the parking lot. And I was like, all right. And all of a sudden I hear like this car. I didn't know it was a car. It sounded like gunfire. And it sounded close. And I've been around guns my whole life. I shoot. I know how to shoot. I know gun safety. Blah, 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 blah. So it sounded close and it sounded like gunfire. And I immediately took off running. I didn't care if I looked crazy. I don't care. I don't care. If you're wondering why I'm running through the damn Lowe's parking lot full speed with my keys in my hand, starting my car, I don't care if I look crazy. I would rather be safe than be shot. And those girls just stood there. And I was just like, oh, wow, their survival instincts are just non-existent. I don't know, man. I pay attention to my surroundings, especially in restaurants, movie theaters. Like, you have to now. People are crazy and you will absolutely get caught in the crosshairs. People do not care anymore. People are cold and evil. I told somebody else that on this channel the other day. I said they will absolutely rob you, steal your truck, kidnap you, rape you, and leave you dead in a ditch. It happens every day. I feel better now that I got that shit off my face, to be honest. I still have a bunch under my eyes. I feel like when I wear all that stuff, it, like, clogs my face up, like, my pores, you know? Like, it, like, ugh, it's not real. It feels fake because it is fake. But I do love makeup, though. I can sit there for hours and do that stuff. All right. So, food. There's probably a cookout around here, which I love. Also, maybe a Culliver's if I'm lucky. The last time I ate Culliver's, I did a video for you guys, and it was a short, and I was so sick after that. I don't think I ever told y'all that, but I was, y'all, when I tell y'all I was sick for 2 days, I felt so bad. Specifically right after I ate. Before I even left the Culliver's restaurant, it felt like somebody was stabbing me in between, like, my ribs, where my ribs meet, right where the top of your stomach is. It felt like somebody was stabbing me in my stomach, and that's what I feel like when I eat fast food at McDonald's, and that's another problem. Like, it is more expensive to live out of your car like this, but it's also more expensive to eat because you have no way to store food. You have no way to keep things cold. Now, I have a cooler, but also, if I was going to keep ice in there throughout the days, it would cost me like $6 a day to keep ice in there because it's been so hot. So it's not really. I use that cooler when I go to the park, or I'm headed to a national forest, or I know that I'm gonna be off the grid for like a day or two, tucked in the woods chilling. Then I will put ice in it, and I can tuck it out in the woods under a, you know, shady spot or something. But like on the back of my truck, this black truck, that ice is non-existent within a few hours. So it's no point and trying to keep food and stuff. So I have to eat out. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. A lot. And like apples and oranges, you can keep in your car for a little while. Like I had an apple in here for like 2 weeks the other day. I just ate it. It was a Granny Smith. What are they putting in our food? What are they putting in our food? Tell me why. Like, how genetically modified was that damn apple for it to last 2 weeks in heat? It was in this container. And it didn't. Maybe it's the location of the container. That blue container right there. It was in that container. That's where I keep like extra food and stuff, because you will get rats in your car especially like field mice. Like if you have food out. So I don't have food in my car. Yeah. I tried to keep everything in that box. But I had an apple that lasted 2 weeks. That's wild, ain't it? It didn't have a bruise on it or nothing. And it was still hard as a rock when I ate it. I had to throw half of it away. So I'm wondering if I could sleep at this Planet Fitness since they're not open. I'm wondering if the cops would come. Like, there's literally been this truck in front of me for like 3 hours with his lights on. I'm wondering if it's the police, an undercover officer. Like, what is this girl doing on her fucking phone, running her mouth? Maybe we should go ride by him and see what he looks like and see if it's the police. Did I tell y'all that I chased the police in Winston-Salem a couple weeks ago? So first of all, I was on a side of town where I feel comfortable. So how fucked up for the police to assume that I must be over there buying drugs from the McDonald's. But they absolutely did. They absolutely did. They watched me for hours. And they did. I was at McDonald's using the Wi-Fi, but it just so happens that it is a high drug area. High drug area. Probably one of the most dangerous places in Winston-Salem that you can be. I feel wonderful over there. So if somebody, I mean, you know, what can I do? What can I do if somebody's going to kill me? What can I do? But also, the cops was in the parking lot, so I pulled up beside the police thinking that I'd be safe to hook on to the Wi-Fi for a couple hours. But when I pulled out of there, hours after I got off of live with you guys, I look over down a side street, and it's the police in an unmarked vehicle. A little Dodge Durango or whatever them things are now. And I could see the lights. From the side, I could see like some lights up here, like the visor from the side. And I was like, oh God. And so I started headed towards them because they were following me on a side street. And every time I'd come to a light, I could look over and either I'd see them go by or sitting at the light beside me 1 city block over. So they were absolutely following me, thinking that I'd met somebody to buy drugs or something. Absolutely. That's what they do, you know. And so I head towards them. I like bust a left and head towards them and wave at them and look at them real good. Like, they don't know what the hell to think. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They can't do shit. Pull me over, search my shit. Okay, you ain't going to find nothing. What you going to do? You're going to look stupid messing with a homeless person. Because you're profiling her. I couldn't possibly just be using the Wi-Fi like I was doing. Pisses me off. They harass me a lot, though. They really do. They've kind of chilled out in certain areas. But, there's been a couple of times that, it could have went really bad really quick. And I'm glad that it didn't. I feel like, I wonder if y'all could see, was anybody here for the live when the cops showed up earlier? Because I'm wondering if you could see out. Because they like blocked me in. What the fuck are y'all doing? Let me go. Why are y'all blocking me in? Assholes. They were alright though. They weren't bad. But when he said that he knew the cops, that explains a lot. Like I said, small towns. Small towns. When I tell you that my family member knows the cops, like my abuser, he knows the cops. He hung out with the cops. He knows everybody in the small town. That's how small towns are. It's the good old boy system down here in the South. It's the same way up here in the mountains. Matter of fact, it's 10 times worse in the mountains. These motherfuckers out here in the mountains, these sheriff's departments, these chief of polices out here, they're able to get by with a lot more shit than in the city. I'm just telling you. And I've had officers tell me that. I've had cops, sheriff's departments tell me to my face, yeah, they do things differently over there on the mountain. End quote. Oh, you from Stokes? Yeah, they do things differently. They sure do. Small towns. It's the good old boy system. But that same county has been under an investigation by the SBI. They fired a bunch of people in Stokes County, Madison, North Carolina. They've been firing people left and right in that sheriff's department. The SBI come in. I don't know what it's about. I've been trying to like search on like Newsweek or whatever. And like even Google. I've tried to Google articles. And all it said when I did find something was that so-and-so has been put on administrative leave pending investigation from the State Bureau of Investigation. So there's been something going on up in where I'm from with the sheriff's department. I don't know what. I just know that like the guy that does something, like he does something with the money, like something with money in the city council. I don't know. But he was fired recently and it's in the same department as the sheriff's department. Like it's the same people. I don't know, y'all. I just know that that there's absolutely dirty cops and there's absolutely people in positions of power that know law enforcement and they use that to their advantage. Like I've experienced that. So I was in a fight with my abuser. He actually I was surprised. So he was my uncle. I'm gonna start calling him that because that's what he was to me. And I need to start reframing the way that I say things. So my uncle, we got in an argument when I moved back from Florida in October of last year. And he absolutely came at me and pinned me against, y'all, I was so surprised. This man's like 82 years old. And this is what I was talking about earlier. When I say they get old, they get defiant, they get crazy, they forget things. The older they get, the more stubborn they become. And I've seen a lot of old people get straight up crazy and try to fight people in their old age. I mean, it's crazy. I'm not putting my hands on anybody. I ain't got time to be fighting nobody. That's crazy. So anyways, we're arguing and he slams me up against the freaking living room door. And I was so surprised at the force as to which he hit me, but he is a big man. He's like a 300-pound man, and he's like tall, you know, like over 6 foot tall. And so, but his age, I never thought that an 80-pound-year-old man could, an 80-year-old man could slam me around like that. Like, he still had spirit in his heart. I'll tell you that much. But all jokes aside, the son of a bitch got me pinned down on the ground. I was in a silk bathrobe. That's important. Because he wanted to humiliate me. He absolutely wanted to humiliate me. So he gets me down on the door jamb of the door. Like, I slid all the way down in the door. I can't get up. And, he's just got me down and fucking swinging on me. He's bent over, swinging on me, and I'm in the floor kicking, trying to get away. Like, I'm kicking up, trying to get him off of me, and I absolutely kicked him in the face. And he started bleeding, and he gets mad, and then pulls me by the hair, and before I knew it, I'd finally gotten up, and I ran to my room, and I called 911. And this is the only time I've ever called 911, like, for any situation like this. Like, I have had men hit me before, but under different contexts, and it was more out of nowhere than this. Like, this was still out of nowhere. Like, I didn't expect for him to fucking throw me against the damn door. But anyways, it's not normal for me to be in, like, physically abusive relationships. It's usually mentally, emotionally, and financially abusive. But I have been hit by more than one person, and I've hit more than one person. I've not been an angel. And I think that I make that perfectly clear. But his nose started bleeding because I'd accidentally kicked him in the nose. And I run to my room. I call 911. I tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm having a dispute with this guy out here. And I'm like, y'all know who I am. Y'all know who he is. Blah, 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 blah. And the reason I said that was because I used to be on probation multiple times. I was on probation like 10 times before I stopped getting in trouble about 8 years ago. So, freaking... And it's actually been longer than that. It's probably been about 10 or 12 years since I've been in trouble, but I lose count. So anyways, the cops show up, and they threatened to take me to jail. They sure did. They said, well, it looks like you have a record. And he says that you hit him. And I said, well, that's just not true. I said, that's not true. I said, why would I attack him? What motive do I have? And the thing is these very cops knew. They knew about the whole situation. Everybody in the county that I've been in has knew that this man essentially moved me into his house when I was underage. And, everybody knows it. Everybody knows that he was a 50-something-year-old man luring young girls onto his property and using them. And some of the girls selling over state lines. Everybody knew. Well, except for me at the time. I didn't find out for a long time. It was probably about 6 months. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the way that, like, people manipulate. He used money. Like, he got me a car and made me feel like I had freedom, like I had transportation. And, yeah, it's just manipulation. Like, when he agreed to sell me my land, I'm thinking that he cares about my future. The whole reason that I moved back out there was to help take care of my uncle, to be there for my family, what family I thought I had. I would have never put a house out there if I didn't plan to either live out there or rent that property. I wouldn't have invested 3-4 years of, those payments into paying that property off if I thought I was just going to have to sell it. It really sucked to have to sell it, but that was part of his intention. Like I said, he sold me land to make me think, because he knew if he didn't sell me land, then I was going to go off and marry somebody and create a happy life and be gone. So it was just enough manipulation for me to stick around to think that I would be able to live in my own house on my own land. And in all actuality, I didn't even have any power and water out there because I got shitted on that. There's so much, I can't even put into words how manipulation works. Like, I can see it now. I can identify it when I'm in it now. When I have someone trying to gaslight me or make me feel something that I know that I don't feel or something like that, then I can recognize it now. I didn't used to be able to do that. I used to feed into it and actually believe the lies that these people were telling me. I've been doing really good as far as like just being positive, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I just find it very interesting that every person I come in contact with is incapable of just saying, you know what? Yep, you're right. We were horrible to each other back in the day. I'm glad that we made it through that, and I'm glad that we can turn over a new leaf. And I promise that I will never cheat on you again. It's sad that the bare minimum is too much nowadays. The bare minimum. Those conversations are not to be had. But, you know, it's not even just him. I don't want to put it all on one guy. There's a lot of people like this. There's a lot of women that are like this, too. They're incapable of being just real. Oh, fucking fireworks. Hell, half the women I know aren't even living in reality. I mean, I'm a little crazy, but at least I'm in fucking reality. I don't know who that is. Like, oh my God, are the fireworks behind me? Y'all. Y'all, the fireworks are behind me. I'm sitting here bitching about these fireworks, and they're blowing up beautifully behind me. Let's turn around. Oh my God. I knew they sounded close. Y'all, I look back and the whole sky was lit up. All right, I turned around. Let's see if we see one. Oh, there's a Subway here too. I love it when there's a Subway in the Planet Fitness parking lot. When I find that, it's like 5 stars for your shopping center, sir. My 2 favorite places. I just heard it cast off. There you go. See how foggy my freaking window is? Look at that. So humid out. I think it's like 80-something% humid up here, dude. Because it's raining. And I can wash these windows and wash these windows, and it doesn't help. That's another thing. I wanted to clean out my truck and like wipe my windows and stuff. I don't see any more. Oh, there's one that's tiny though. It was all the way over there. Hold on. A while ago, I looked back and there was a huge one. Did y'all see that? Y'all see that? Oh, there we go. They're pretty. Did anybody else go see fireworks? Y'all take y'all's youngins? Vibrant Dad, don't you have a child? I feel like you told me you had a daughter. Did y'all go see fireworks? I haven't been in a while. I did hear that somebody actually passed away from a firework. He tried to light it off the top of his head. I just want to know what his state of mind was. Like, was he like, hee, watch this? Or was he like, oh, this will work, and wasn't really was he nonchalant about it when he lit it off of his head? But he definitely passed away. Bless his heart. Now they're coming out big, look. Well, it was. This is just like when your dog does something cute and then he'll never do it again and you can't get it on camera, or you're trying to show somebody something and then it just won't happen. Where are the fireworks? I swear they're out here. I can see some over there, but then somebody's also been lighting some off right in front of me, right here in the edge of this shopping center. They look close too because it was big. I looked back a while ago and the entire sky was lit up behind me. I was like, holy shit, I've been sitting here and they've been going off the entire time. I thought it was like somebody in an apartment complex or something shooting them off. I didn't think that it was like the big ones. I thought it was some kids playing. As soon as I turn this back around, y'all know them fireworks are going to start going off again. I still got makeup. Oh, another thing I forgot about is when I was picking out my outfit this morning, he says, I said, I think I'm going to wear this brown dress with this cover up. And he's like, no, don't wear that. You can't wear that. And I was just like, that's a first. Like, that's a literal first, okay? Usually, I couldn't be skimpy enough. I gotta get this makeup off my eye. It's gonna aggravate me. Usually I couldn't be skimpy enough. I mean, you know, honestly, I dress like I do now. I would love to dress more my age, to be honest. When I live in a house, I dress very professional, button up, slacks, loafers. Like, I am geared towards more stuff that's my age. However, it's so hot that I have to wear tank tops and thinly stuff, like little shorts that are thin and thin little tops, because it's so hot. Like, y'all, I'm not even joking. My towel that I'm sitting on right now is dampened because of the sweat, and it's dark. So it gets hot, and it stays hot till dark, till after dark, till early in the morning. And it's been rough, but I wear skimpy stuff because it's hot and I want thin stuff. And that's what I'm saying. I'm over there laying in my bed, relaxing in my moo-moo. There's some. Oh. Hey, at least I got to see fireworks. Where did that come from? There was some big ones going off over there. I wish they go back. But yeah, I'm like chilling in my truck in my moo-moo, and he starts screaming at me, and I'm just like, he's like, I'm gonna call the cops on you. And I'm like, go ahead then, motherfucker. Like, you about that life? Go ahead. Show me what you about. Show me if you're two-faced. Show me if you'd betray me because your butt hurt that I didn't come see your family because I had a panic attack. Because you can't reassure anybody or talk to anybody like a normal human. You sure as hell can't communicate. Yeah, go ahead. I wanted to see. I've never been grimy to somebody like that. Oh, wow, that was so pretty. It was like 10 of them at once. Oh, it's the end of it. It's the end. They're going all out. They always go all out at the end. I'm sorry the resolution isn't that great. God, that just looks like a big old pile of fire. Oh, God. Now we're getting it from both sides. God, doesn't that just look like a ball of fire, y'all? What the hell? Do y'all see that? It's like a huge smoke pile in front of the fireworks. I think they set too many off at one time or something. There's like this huge smoke cloud right in front of the fireworks. Can y'all see that? It looks even crazier in person. They're still going off. You just can't see them because of the smoke. Damn, that was kind of scary for a minute. I'm like, what am I witnessing? I ain't never seen no smoke like that from them. Arby's. Do I want to try to eat Arby's? Do I want to see if Arby's will make me sick? I don't know how long it's been since I had Arby's. Probably a couple of years when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida. There was one outside of my favorite park But I only ever got their little chicken sandwiches, like the little sliders. That's the only thing I ever got. I don't like their roast beef, man. It'd be looking funny. Why is it marbled like that? It looks like somebody soaked it in gasoline and then threw it on a damn bun. The meat don't look right. I'm picky about stuff like that. I can't eat no fake stuff. It will make me sick. I need more Gatorade, too. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get food. I hope you guys have a good 4th. I'm about to run. I'm going to go get food and get ready for bed. I wonder how hot it is. 82. 82. I mean, if I'm being honest, that ain't that bad in comparison to the 105 degrees it's been. So it could be worse, you know. I'm going to be grateful for the small successes. And it'll probably cool off a little bit more now that it's been raining. Absolutely. And I might go find somewhere that's a little more quiet so that I don't have to listen to fireworks all night, because that will absolutely keep me up. And once I'm up, I can't get back to sleep because of stress. There's only so much melatonin you can take, too. It only works just a little bit. I definitely knew better. It's my own fault. And I'm just being honest. I'm fully aware. But at least I'm aware, you know. It could be worse. Things could always be worse. And now I just need to decide if I'm going to go over there and get my AC fixed or not. Because I know he's going to hit me up and be like, oh, are you going to let me fix your AC? Oh, you were overreacting yesterday. I just couldn't talk to you. So I called the cops on you. Like, what? That's how gaslighting works. And then the cycle starts back over. Like the act of him fixing my AC, I'm supposed to just wipe the slate clean and let him just treat me any old way. Because at the end of the day, he kept his word. That's so stupid. That's not love. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not normal. I shouldn't have to tell you to call the cops on me just to see what you'll do. Because I think that you would do that to hurt me. But you want me to move in with you and trust you again? Like, I mean, I've never been able to trust you. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to work on that. And once again, I know better than to keep giving second chances. Arby's. I might have to Google something else because I just don't think I can do that, to be honest. I might try to find a gas station to see if they have like one of those little bowl salads or like the little chicken wrap. Like, not chicken. The little like pinwheel wraps. Something like that. Boiled eggs are really good. I'll do little hummus cups like at night like this. It's already so late. I don't like to eat this late because it gives me heartburn because I'm old. But yeah, I gotta go find something to eat, and then I'm gonna lay it down for the night and get up and recuperate and, you know, start over. A whole new day. It's gonna be the start of a new week. We're turning over a new leaf. I'm not gonna be stressing. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go to work, and I'm not gonna let anything or anybody stop me from going to work ever again. I love you guys. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all be careful tonight. Don't be drinking and driving. Watch out for deer. Pray for me because I'm praying for y'all, and God knows I need it. Bye, y'all.